Are we live? Are we not live? Is there an echo? Chat room, can you let me know if there's an echo? That's what I want to know, chat room. I don't even think there's anybody watching us right now. Is there an echo?
I don't know.
Oh, wait. Hang on. Yeah, are we live? Wait, what happened here? What the hell? Wait.
I think we're live. I mean, it's live on my YouTube.
We are live?
Yeah, we're live on my YouTube.
No echo, all good, we're live. Okay, we are live. Okay, good to know.
Shit.
No echo, all good.
Oh.
Good so far. No echo for you, Dave. Oh, man. We're going to explain to you what's going on here, folks.
I'll let him explain it. Poor Dave, I feel bad.
We are live. This is how bad it is. This is how you know it's bad when you can't even explain or you can't even say we are live. Hell, but I've done it every show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. There it is. I did it. Yeah. I did it anyway. So here's the situation. You may notice, and we're counting on you guys, that I might be a bit lower than Tony. Tony might be a bit louder than me. Okay, here's the situation.
Well, let's ask them. I mean, how in comparisons to me talking right now, really quickly, how do I sound, and now how does Dave sound? Is there a volume difference?
Yeah, well, there usually always is a bit of a volume difference, but we're talking about an extreme one. Like, is Tony way too hot and I'm really far too low? Nothing marginal. Tony's usually a bit hotter than me. In terms of the volume. You are. That is true. You are one sexy son of a bitch. Either Dave might too low or Tony's is too loud. Yeah, Dave sounds farther away. The same. Okay. Both good. Yeah, Dave is a little lower. Let me just see. Hear in my head.
Tony's louder. Okay.
Yeah, good levels. Good. Both good. Okay, well...
Some are saying I'm louder. Some are saying it's fine.
You are usually a bit louder, but YouTube switched over to a new YouTube portal. And we use Wirecast for a very specific reason for this show in particular. So in order for us to switch to something else, it would be a whole ordeal like OBS or for this particular show. So we want to continue to use Wirecast for this show, but YouTube, for those of you that live stream, probably have noticed that they've made the new YouTube portal and hub mandatory now, and you can't go back to the old classic look. So we've been having a bugger of a time trying to get Wirecast to work. It's a whole different beast. It's not like OBS. Wirecast is a professional, whole different kind of thing. And it's just been a little problematic. And we spent about an hour and a half this afternoon, I think, Tony, trying to make sure everything was okay.
And it was fine too. Yeah. I'm telling you, the moment Trump left Walter Reed Hospital, shit hit the fan. It's Trump's fault.
Hang on. Quiet for 1 second. I just want to hear your levels. There's a delay and I want to hear the quiet, everybody. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you are a bit hotter than my meters, which is sort of usually the case. But you know what? We're going to do the show right now anyway. Everything seems to sound okay. We'll do it as is for now, as long as you guys want us to do it. Do you guys want us to do it, or are you guys really picky and want perfection? As an audio guy, as a video sound guy, audio guy, this grinds my gears.
Hey, man, I understand.
Grinds my gears, man.
Yeah. nothing worse when you're doing any type of production, whether it's your movie you're doing or this or my photos. I mean, you want everything to be butter, but you do fucking bullshit. You know what I'll do is I'll back my mic off a bit and I'll come back a little bit more. See if that maybe kind of evens it out a little bit.
Maybe, yeah. The thing is that, give us some time, and I'm sure as the weeks turn into months, we'll get it figured out, and Wirecast will also be able to catch up to what YouTube has going right now, because again, it's not OBS, which is just like butter. It just seems to connect all the time with YouTube. It's a different beast. So, but you know what? It seems to be okay at the moment. So we'll go on. We'll go on with the show. The show must go on, ladies and gentlemen. And you know me, I can sound really loud if I need to. Anyway,
it's so weird because you sound like, I mean, you sound fine in my headphones, man. Like you sound, I sound normal.
Your meters are like going like this, and my meters are
even
like
with
this.
Me backing the mic off. I'm like, dude, like I'm about almost 2 feet away from the microphone.
You're pretty much where you should be. I'm like on the cusp of being just under where I should be. To the average person out there, it probably sounds fine, but to us audio guys, we're like, that's not right. There's a difference. Anyway, let's, my voice is synced. Okay, good. Well, if it's not synced, then refresh your page and hopefully it'll be synced. God, I hope that's not an issue. Hey, it's an all Q&A. Tony and I, obviously, there's some issues that we're trying to get worked out. So Radio Daddy says Tony sounds way louder. Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Yeah, that
doesn't surprise me. What are you going to do? But we're going to move on here, and we're going to see how this goes just to kind of, get the show on the road. The show must go on, as they say. So... let's do some super
such a
chats.
good song by Queen, by the way.
What's that?
The Show Must Go On.
Oh, The Show Must Go On. Yes.
Yeah, it's a song by Queen.
Yes. Queen is a great fucking band.
Fuck yeah, Queen, man. They're in my top 10.
Easily top 10. Top 10. Let's go over to, I know there were a couple of super chats that came in from the other
before the other stream. Yeah, make sure we get them, guys.
Get that. The super chats from the others that came in were, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, there they are. Gary Wrangle just says, for D&T, working on a Monday once again, but here's to you guys, and for everyone in the chat room, have fun, enjoy your evening. Thank you, Gary. Genesis Knight sends in a $4.99 super chat, says, so glad it's two dudes and some bullshit night. Hope you both are doing great. We are. And then David Coe just sends in a $4.99 super chat and says, Tony, the Patriots are playing right now. You putting the two dudes audience above football is the biggest compliment that any of us could have asked for.
I haven't watched football since last year.
Well, there you go.
I have no interest in sports right now. Zero interest in sports. So I can care less.
You heard it here first, folks. Scott7 sends in a $5 super chat, says, hey, guys, what do you think is the scariest non-horror movie? For me, it's Scorsese's Fear.
Scariest non-horror movie. Showgirls.
I love when people say, I missed these streams. Like, we've only been gone 2 weeks. Now, what's going to happen if we're gone? Well, actually, we may be gone. Well, we'll get to that at the end of the show. We don't want to ruin the mood for the remainder of the show. Non-horror movie.
No, I'm trying to think. Non-horror scary film.
That's a good question.
That is a really good question. Because Cape Fear, yeah, that's what he said, right? Cape Fear?
Yeah, Cape Fear.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what? I gotcha. I just watched it, and because I just bought it, and I was like, wow, this is surprisingly really good.
Okay.
Let me go to my library here.
Oh, he's going to his library, folks.
Does Thriller count as horror?
Like the Michael Jackson music video?
No, because I was extremely late to the party on this one. Everyone's like, "Whoa, I can't believe you just watched it for the first time." Well, I did, because I just didn't have any interest in watching it in the 90s. I just watched Silence of the Lambs, and that was really fucking good. But does that count as a horror film?
I think Silence of the Lambs counts as a horror film. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, then my next one was going to be Seven.
Oh, I sound underwater now? Oh, God. What the hell happened? I didn't even touch anything.
Seven would be one. I don't think Seven's a horror film. That's a drama.
Seven's a thriller.
Or thriller. See, it's not horror.
Psychological thriller.
It's scary.
I didn't even touch anything. I just went over to this other page. That's insane. My mic is popping.
Is there any way we can push through this and try to see if we can get it better?
I wish I could hear it. Hang on, let me just hear what I sound like.
Yeah, I'll turn it up. Actually, keep talking because I know we're on a delay.
Oh, sounds okay.
Okay, don't say anything, Dave.
I sound fine now. You're good now, Dave. You're good. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
it sounds fine.
It's fine now. Okay, I'm not even gonna fucking touch anything. I'm just gonna fucking sit here and answer questions.
You know
okay,
what I sound
let's
like?
Go.
I sound like I'm talking not even through my own internal microphone. I sound like I'm talking through
like a webcam,
the external microphone. Yeah, like a webcam, like a really cheap web. That's what I sound like. It sounds very like it sounds like I'm in an empty room.
We should get you one of these puppies. We should get you a Shure SMB.
Yeah, I think I need to upgrade. The Rode, I mean, it's good, but it's
yeah.
But we're just gonna push through this like a woman giving birth.
We're gonna push through this like a whore. Anyway, so let's. Hey.
So, anyways, non-scary movie. I mean, 7. Does 7 count? I mean,
yeah, I think so. I think.
Right, cool.
Well, 7's.
But you think silence? You think silence is horror?
Yeah, I think 7 though is scary from a psychological perspective. I'm gonna say maybe a non-scary movie, but they are horror. They are scary. What's a non-scary movie that scared you? None. I mean,
it's like hard. Yeah. It's a good question though. It's making me think.
Yeah,
it's making me think. What's in the box?
That's it. I will say. I don't know. That's a very, very good question.
Stir of Echoes? No, that's horror.
That's horror, though.
Secret Window, Johnny Depp. Secret Window.
Secret Window.
It's like kind of
but they're scary movies. Like they're classified as scary movies just because they don't scare you. A non-scary movie would be like something that scared you
because it's kind
like
of scary.
Private Ryan or something. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
Because of the, you know?
What about 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams? Because he's kind of creepy in that shit.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good. Taxi Driver.
That's one of my favorite roles of Robin Williams. That doesn't get talked about a lot. I love that fucking film.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
All right, send in those questions, you bitches, because we don't know how long this audio is going to hold up. Hey, Daniel Hirel says, my dudes, I'm an Italian New Yorker. Can I hear your best New York accents? Long-time follower, by the way, much love. New York, some coffee. I can just say words like certain words. You might be able to do it better than I can because you're.
No, my New York accent is not as good as my New England accent because that's where I'm from Connecticut, so I can park my car in the yard anytime you want and drop them odds really hard. But my New York, no, I can't do New York. I can only pick out a few words, but I can definitely do the Boston New England accent.
Yeah.
That's my bread and butter.
Yeah, that's you may be right. You may be right.
Maybe right.
Let me see here. Some super chats here. We've got David Lee Barron sends in a super chat and says, "Dear Your Majesty, is Rocky V a huge pile of wet juice donkey poo and is the greatest abomination to motion pictures, even worse than Halloween 5? Well, Rocky V is a huge pile of wet juice donkey poo, but it is not worse than Halloween 5.
It is not worse than Halloween 5. And fun fact, when Rocky 5 came out in 90 or 89.
90.
It's either 89 or 90. But anyways, me and my buddy, after we saw that in theater, we went out and mimicked that street fight around trash cans, and we were throwing each other in the fucking trash cans and shit.
Wow.
Of course, when you're 10 and 11 years old, I think when you're watching that film, it's okay. It's a fun movie. But when you become an adult and you realize you're like, dude, Sly, what the fuck were you thinking, bro?
Right. Yes.
You know?
Crazy. Scott 7 says, Dave, can I get a quick old married couple demo real quick, including the classic Harold, It's For You, answering the phone? What? Can I get an old? Oh, you mean like I think I know what he means. The character, like just the funny voices I do with the old married couple. I didn't know I didn't know that, including the classic Harold, It's For You. I didn't realize that I had said that so often it became a classic. I don't know. I'm just kind of improvising as the way I go. Okay. Hey, Betty, can you get the phone, please? Hello? Yes? Harold, it's for you. I'm I'm coming, you damn son of a bitch. There you go. There it is. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but hopefully that is what you were referring to, ladies and germs. Let's see here. Oh, Dave underwater again, popping again. And now
see,
it's fine.
I've got him on, and you sound fine. I'm listening to you right now. You sound fine. It could. You guys may need to like refresh your screens.
Maybe,
you know,
maybe
or
that's what
something.
it is. Or it could be a situation where my audio is popping and then not popping. That could be a situation. I don't know what's up Wirecast's ass with this new fucking thing. I don't know. I have no idea. But we're gonna try and get through this stream, and we'll see how it goes. Now, tomorrow when I do McRae Live, it should be fine because I use a different software for McRae Live. So it should be fine. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, why don't you just use that software for two dudes? Well, there's a reason why we can't because of Tony's connection and how it's all sort of connected. So there's a reason why we have to use Wirecast for this show, and 99.9% of the time it's fine. Like there's no issues whatsoever. It's a professional software.
I'm still just dumbfounded by the amount of YouTubers, I'm saying it now as a whole, who do live streaming, who, you know, especially with COVID coming in this year, who have been doing these types of streams with other people.
Yeah, take it away.
And that YouTube cannot get together and do this shit internally within their own fucking platform.
It is amazing to me that YouTube is still continuing to allow people to stream on their service by using third party.
Right. You think they do it internally.
I am so surprised that they haven't created their own OBS or their own Wirecast. That's all internal, like a Google Hangout kind of thing, but much more advanced. And maybe you pay like, you know, there's like 3 or 4 tiers, right? Or 3 tiers. I would totally pay $10 a month to have something like this or OBS that was built right into YouTube, and therefore I don't have to worry about connection issues. It's going to work like it's always going to work because it's built right in. And that's another revenue stream for YouTube. I totally would do it, and I think most of us would, especially when you're guaranteed that it's going to work because it's built right into their live portal, and you just do it. Like, I mean, totally, like with everything. I'm surprised that maybe it's coming, but I'm surprised it hasn't come yet, to be honest with you. It's shocking to me. Again, for those of you that are tuning in late, we're pushing ahead with this stream. There are issues with the software and YouTube. It's in most cases, it may be out of our hands because YouTube has switched their portal.
It's words that I can't say on YouTube or else I'll get in trouble.
Exactly. That's pretty much that's it right there. David Coe sends in a super chat, $9.99. Thanks, buddy. Says, in H18, had they waited longer into the film to show the mask in full view, what scene would have been the best to finally show it? I would have gone with the scene with Allison at the fence.
That's a good one.
That's actually a very
well.
Good
No, because I like the scene before that with the dude in the yard, and you kind of see it and you don't see it. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I thought that was very creative, using the modern technology with the sensor lights.
Agreed.
I hate homie holding it out. Like I don't know. Yeah, I love the reverse pumpkin thing. I hate the dude holding the fucking mask out.
The first reveal of the mask, I would say that I think it's a missed opportunity. I think where you could have first revealed the mask. Well, I actually don't mind where they. Well, I guess from a certain point of view, I guess the holding the mask.
You went Obi-Wan there.
That's right. From a certain point of view, holding the mask and saying "say something." I guess technically that's the first time we see it. But I mean, the first time on Michael Myers, I don't mind the first time we see it through the back of the windshield. I just think it should have been at night. I think that scene with him closing the trunk, it may be a little it might be a little too
dumb.
Human. No.
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I just think that it would have served it better if it was during nighttime. However, I think the best part would have, I think it was a missed opportunity. I've said this before. Vicky in the closet. I think she should have opened that door. I think the closet light should have been off, and Julian was asking her not to close the door, but to go turn the closet light on, because he's a little boy and little kids like to sleep with the light on. And I think that would have been cool. And she goes to the closet and she opens the door and she goes to flick the light on. And you can play it one of two ways. Either she flicks the light on and boom, there he is. Or she tries to flick the light on and it doesn't turn on. The bulb's burnt out or whatever, right? And then as she's trying to, you know, fix it, or she's unscrewing the bulb, his face, that's right, baby. His face emerges from the darkness and it's like, oh, there he is for the first time. You know what I mean? That would have been really cool. I think the closet scene largely was a missed opportunity. I think just opening and having him right there just seems, I don't know, there's so much you could have done with that space. That I would have. That's what I think anyway. That's what I think. Yeah. Super chat from Jeff Harris says, "Hey Tony, are you a fan of The Crow? Also, have you guys ever seen the series Cursed? The series Cursed Films on Shudder. They did an episode on The Crow. Rest in peace, Brandon Lee. I have not. I've seen The Crow. I enjoyed it. I have not seen what he's talking about. You, Tony?
I love The Crow. Great movie to watch even during Halloween season too. I haven't watched that in a while. I may have to watch that soon. But no, I don't have Shudder, so I haven't seen it.
Okay. I'm assuming this is this pronounced De Jesus or De Jesus, maybe? Custom footwear? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Do you know, Tony? The first, is it
Jesus is reaching out to us?
What's up, the Lord is Savior? I'm not sure. Anyway, DNT, tough on the spot, but what are 5 original horror films from the 2010s you really enjoyed? Love the Insidious episode. Need one for Sinister. Well,
actually not as hard as you think.
I would say the first Insidious was great. The first
Conjuring.
Sinister was great. The first Conjuring was great. Hereditary was
It Follows.
Great. And yeah, I don't know if I'd put in but there's 4 Hereditary. It Follows. Yeah, I mean, I know that's up there.
I'm gonna say Unfriended. I thought that was really fucking creative.
Yeah,
I really fucking like that film. That was really fucking, just because of the confinement that they were in. I believe that they were all friends. It just was really fucking good. I enjoyed it. I thought I was gonna fucking hate it. It was really good. Hereditary, obviously.
I can hear the popping now. What people are talking about. I just raised the volume and it's popping bad now.
When did Trick or Treat come out? Was that in 2000 in the 2010s? Because that's pretty good too.
It is.
I like that.
It is. It is. It is. It is.
No, The Exorcist of Emily Rose came out before 2010. The Last Exorcism was pretty decent. That was around 2010, I think.
Hey, how's now? Am I?
Hey, Paula.
Here I am. Hang on a sec. Just hoping I don't know if I fixed it or not.
Your next was pretty good. It's actually giving me some cool ideas for a photo shoot. Because the final girl in that was really badass. She fucking whoops some ass.
Yeah, it sounds a little better. Sorry, folks, for the delay. Again, if you're just joining us,
Scream 4 came out in 2011. That was good.
We're doing this show.
That's my second favorite.
And we're going to push through it, but you may notice some audio issues on my end, popping, things like that from time to time. We're pushing through the show, but you may notice that. So if you want to skip ahead, totally understandable if you're watching after the fact. Yeah, Unfriended, I agree. I will put that on there. I enjoyed that movie. Unfriended, the first Conjuring, first Insidious, Hereditary.
Scream 4, that came out in 2011. Oh, no, he said original. Sorry.
Yeah, original.
That's a sequel.
Yeah, and I wouldn't necessarily. Yeah.
Hey.
No, I don't mind Scream 4.
Hey.
Scream 4.
Hey, that's number 2 on my list of Scream movies. It's 1.
Well, yeah,
4,
I guess in the Scream
2,
movies,
3.
yeah, because there's not a large. Yeah, there's not a large pool to pick from. Scott 7 sends in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Scott. Says,
did you say Scott Baio?
Scott Baio. Charles in charge of our days. Did you know in Friday 5 the music goes
Roy
for Kill Him or Her Tommy, a play on Kill Mama for Killer Mummy. Yeah. Well, obviously it's, if you're a Friday fan or horror fan, the Kill Mama is very well known, but I did not know the ta-ta-ta for Kill Her Tommy. Or Kill Him Tommy. I didn't know that. Ta-ta-ta. I didn't know that.
Did not know that either.
You learn something new every day, folks. You learn something new every day. Let me see here. David Lee Barron says, I missed his super chat. Did I? David, let's go back and see if we can get yours. David, did I? Oh, here it is. David Lee Barron, to our Lord and Savior, Tony Christ, I bowed. He is. I bow down before, it's amazing. I bow down before you and ask for you to teach me the ways of cannabis. Actually, you're off it now, aren't you?
I've been off of it for about 4 months and going.
Wow.
Yeah. About to start my 4th month, and I haven't touched it. And I have no desire to go back.
Good for you, I guess. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working out a lot better. I'm running a lot longer. I feel better. So, yeah.
That's good stuff. Let's see here. Super chat from Blood Red Sky. He says, since the Machete sequel was called Machete Kills, that's how they sometimes say it, I find Halloween Kills unoriginal. Do you think they realized a violent film already used it? Yeah, well, no. And I think if they did, they wouldn't care. I mean, how many recycled titles do you get? I mean, tons, all the time. So I don't, I think Kills in this case is, there's a few different reasons for it. Particularly just to the violence of it. It's
gonna kill, man. It's gonna kill.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of death, a lot of carnage, a lot of death and carnage. Great to see Tabitha Short here, and Frank Riker, of course, in the chat. Great to see you guys. Let's see here. James Soundberg says, not sure if it's a reference, but Blood Red Skies is a Killer Priest song. Well, it could be. I'll let Blood Red Skies answer it. Crystal Lake Counselor 1977 says, Carpenter wanted to shock audiences as it was revealed that Michael was only a child when he killed Judith. Correct. Was it not obvious that the killer was a child with the smaller hand grabbing the clown mask? Well, I mean, I don't think it was...
Probably not 1978.
No, but also I don't think the shock comes that it was a child per se. The shock comes from of just how young and innocent and sweet he looks. So, I mean, we sort of know that the kid's probably anywhere from, 3 to probably 11, 12, something like that, right? And this is 1978. So when it's understood that you hear, take that thing off. We are alone, aren't we? Michael's around someplace. I mean, you kind of piece it together. It's like, oh, Michael's around someplace, probably her younger brother, but that could be 13, could be 12. I think the shock comes with, oh shit, he's that young. And he looks so sweet and, wholesome and like, oh my God. Like, look at the size of the butcher knife next to him when he's holding it. It's like the size of his torso almost.
Because I will say this, Deborah Hill's hands are a bit bigger than a kid's, even though she's portraying Michael at the beginning there, going up the stairs and everything.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have guessed that it was a little boy. Now that you're mentioning it, and now that I'm seeing the scene, what you're talking about with Michael holding the knife, and you're right. When it's the kid reveal. That knife looks, not to go Trump, but it looks huge in his fucking hands. So actually the contrast, if you look at Deborah Hill grabbing the knife, her hands are a bit bigger than the boys. Yep,
it's true. But it works. And that's, I think, what the shock is. It's like, I mean, not now, obviously. We've seen it 9,000 times. But in 1978, it would have been like, oh, it's a little boy. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, like that's horrible. I mean, it's horrible no matter what, but yeah. Let me see here. Just don't want to miss anything here. Super chat from David Lee Barron says, Dear motherfucker, did you see David Blaine live when he did his balloon feat? I did. It was amazing. Did you know I do street magic too? I did not know that, David. That's pretty cool. And I didn't see it live, but I saw afterwards. What about you, Tony?
I don't even know who the dude is.
David Blaine, the street magician?
I don't really follow that.
All right. No,
stuff.
it's okay.
Like,
he's been around
I
for
really
a while.
don't. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
No,
like,
he's like
I don't.
He's like a Chris Angel. You've heard of him?
I've heard of him.
Yeah. He's like him.
Because I remember his show, Mind Freak.
That's right.
The only reason why I know that show is because at the time when Mind Freak was out, the only reason why I ended up watching it is because Paranormal State. They were playing back to back on A&E at the time, back in the day. I fucking love that show, Paranormal State. It was such a good show.
Yeah. I got you. Okay, cool. DreamMem77 says, Dave and Tony, thank you, buddy, for the super chat, by the way. Have you seen either Unhinged or Tenet yet? I just seen them both.
Tenet, I think. Isn't that how it's pronounced?
Tenet.
Tenet.
Yes, that's right, Tony. Tony, I'm just going to puff my cigar here.
Yeah.
I mean, my pipe, I should say. That sounded more like a pipe or a shot of a joint. I just saw them both in the theater. Recently enjoyed them, both of them. Also, enjoyed there being fewer folks at the movies for the time being. I have seen neither.
Which were the two?
Tenet and Unhinged, the Kurt Russell one.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see Unhinged, actually. I think that just looks like just kind of a silly, fun movie. It'll be fun. You know what I watched last night?
Our theaters are still closed.
You know what I watched last night for the first time? I watched The Hunt. The Hunt. That's that one that came out in theaters in March, but had to go right to streaming after.
Isn't that in the fantasy world where the liberals are hunting conservatives?
Right. Yeah. But I gotta admit,
should have been a comedy.
It actually is. It's actually a dark comedy. It is. It's not a.
Well, then that makes sense.
It's 100%, and it actually was a really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, when I say it's a really good movie, I'm not like, holy fuck, The Hunt's a classic. No, I'm just mean that it was better than I thought it was going to be. It was creative. I enjoyed watching it. Had kind of like a Kill Bill sort of vibe to it at some moments.
Now you got me curious to watching it.
Yeah, I think you should watch it. I think you should.
Is it available to rent now?
Oh yeah. I bought it. But yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm sketchy about buying films that I haven't seen.
I was too, but it was a pretty good deal. So I was like, all right, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. Like if you go in just kind of not taking it too seriously and you take it as sort of a dark satire, then I think you'll enjoy it because that's exactly what it is. It's not a serious movie. And like it's very self-aware in some instances, and both the left and the right political undertones, they make fun of themselves, so it's,
that's good.
Yeah. And I thought it was all right. I walked away from the movie going, yeah.
If you had to say, would you say that that's your favorite movie of the year so far? Of course, it's kind of like an asterisk because of the year that we've had.
My favorite movie of the year so far. I don't know.
Mine's Unfriended. Easily. I mean, I know Unfriended's an old movie, but I just saw it for the first time this year. And again, it's an asterisk because, new releases, I haven't been able to see them. And that blew me away, man. That really, that was one of those, Unfriended was one of those where I put my foot in the mouth because I really thought that thing was going to suck.
Wait, balls. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Not Kurt Russell. I meant Russell Crowe. That's right. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for correcting me, guys. Kurt Russell. No, not Kurt Russell. Russell Crowe. That's right. I had Kurt Russell on the brain because we were talking about him the other day on one of my Patreon streams.
We got to do the thing one night.
Oh, yeah, we will. What thing? Yeah. What thing? The thing? What thing? Thing? That thing? The thing?
The thing.
The thing? What thing? Yeah, no, I like The Hunt. So I think if for those of you that haven't seen The Hunt,
rent it.
Pop it in, check it out. Don't take it too fucking seriously. It's got some self-aware moments. It's got some Kill Bill Tarantino kind of moments. It's just fun. It's just a fun kind of movie. And if you don't get too wrapped up in the whole fucking thing of it, I think you'll enjoy it.
The political stuff? Oh, I don't care
because it's just fun shit. Yeah, I enjoyed it anyway. Let me see. Scott Sevens, thank you for the super chat. Scott says, Dave, if a studio hired you to direct a Halloween sequel, opening up lots of doors for you professionally, would you accept if you had no creative input? Well, it would depend. It would depend on.
Give you a boatload of money.
Well, there's that, of course, but I mean, it would depend on. It comes down to the script. If the script was a, yeah, I mean, I'm a different kind of breed. Like, yeah, money, of course, a certain level of money talks to anybody. But at the end of the day, I mean, I've been around the block a lot in this business, and if they were like, yeah, we want you to direct it, it wouldn't make much sense to come after me to direct something where I have no creative input whatsoever. Because then why are they coming after me? Like that, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? They would be coming after me because there would be a specific reason why. They would see something in a film that I've shot, or in a story I've written, or creative ideas that I've had. They would want to utilize that. They would want to nurture that. Maybe I don't get final say. Maybe I don't get final cut, but because the studio would. But certainly to have no creative input whatsoever, part of the job of a director is to have creative input. So, yeah, it would all depend. But if they said, we just want you to direct what's on the page and don't fuck, I'd probably say no. And we're going to throw you 10 mil. Why would they throw 10 mil? If they're going to throw shitloads of money at me, but don't want me to have any creative input, it's a weird dichotomy there. It doesn't really make much sense. So it's hard for me to wrap my mind, because why would they go after me? There has to be something special for me if they're going to throw boatloads of money at me.
Well, Dave, because you're a special person.
Yes, I'm
Dave.
just a special person. You're special.
You're special.
My crazy voices. Hey, what's going on? Yes. I do all sorts of crazy voices, folks. Let me see here. I would say I used to do that in college too. I used to be like, hey, what's going on? Yes. I used to do all sorts of funny stuff. I just remember doing that in class. It was hilarious. Crazy voices, folks. Crazy voices. That's what I do. That's my name. That's my game. So yeah, it's kind of hard to say. If you had no creative input, I probably wouldn't accept. Yeah, I probably, because what's in it for me then? Oh, it could open doors for you, but
yeah, what are you gonna do?
What am I going to
do?
Yeah, action cut.
Open doors.
Action
I mean,
cut.
come on.
Yeah.
I mean, how many dudes have directed horror films and yeah.
Yeah, it has actually, but
there's a lot of dudes who have directed shitty horror films. I'm not saying you would direct a shitty horror film.
No, you're right though. You're right.
In general, that it didn't open up doors for. So there is that silver lining there that not saying that you wouldn't put your whole heart into it, but it's like you said, what are you getting? Are you getting a Halloween 5 script? Are you getting a fucking Resurrection script? I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Let me see here. For those of you that might be just joining us, because we're up to 152 people watching now, we're pushing through this show today. Tony and I have had some technical issues with the software. We use Wirecast for this show. There's a very specific reason why we use Wirecast for two dudes. McRae Live, I'll be using OBS just to streamline it and make it a bit easier. So tomorrow's McRae Live, there should not be any issues whatsoever. But with Wirecast, it's having a bit of trouble catching up. It's a professional software. Joe Rogan uses Wirecast. I think there's a bunch of other professional shows that use it. It's a great piece of software, but YouTube just switched their portal around and it's having some funky issues. So you might notice that my volume is a bit lower than Tony's. You might notice my mic pop from time to time, but we're trying to push through this as best we can so we have a show, because Tony and I may be unavailable the next couple of weeks. So we just kind of want to throw that out there. Tony's
will definitely not be available because I'm going to be in South Carolina next weekend.
Well, there you go. And
there
you go. And then the weekend after that, or the Monday after that, I'm doing the tech scout with our DP and camera crew. So, yeah,
it's unfortunate because October's, it's the horror month, and it's
the horror month. But
the way it's falling this year.
You know what? If there's a will, there's a way. Tony and I might find some time. Maybe it'll be a different day. Who knows? We'll try.
To crank it out in 1 week. Yeah, 7 of them.
Yeah. Can you imagine? But that's why we wanted to push through this show today, even with some of the technical glitches, because we wanted you to get, we want to have something for you guys up in the month of October anyway. So we'll see how it goes here. But for those of you that are just joining us, if you hear some technical issues, that is why we're doing the best we can here. Let me see. I think I got that. Yeah, Scott 7 got that. BCGCY, Bic, I don't know how to pronounce. Buddy, Dave, thanks, buddy. Dave and Tony. Sorry, was away for a while, bros. That's okay. You don't. Oh, I think this is Cobra Dojo, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Cobra Dojo. He just changed his name. That's okay. You're not. I mean, it's okay. You're not.
We were gone too.
We were gone too. So it's all right. It's all right. Yeah. David Lee Barron says, get Edward Furlong on the show. By the way, the poor guy didn't age very well. Well, if he's watching, I don't think you'll want to come on now, David.
Poor dude.
No, he's had he looks a little rough around the edges, yeah. But Edward Furlong, maybe. I don't know if I want to. No offense to Edward, but sure, I guess. Get him on the show. Scott 7 says, if they remade Halloween 4, what would you think about Christopher Walken playing the role of security guard at the beginning of the film? Hello, come on. What's the guy say? Forget the monologue now, but yes. Christopher Walken, yes. Done.
There you go.
Done deal. And I want to watch it, or I want to make that movie. Let's see your Blood. Blood Red Skies. Thank you, Blood Red Skies. Says, if they cast a new Freddy, do you think they'd be pressured and maybe they'll get an actor to grasp the public like they got Mark Hamill for Chucky? Entirely possible. Possible that when they recast Freddy Krueger, whenever that'll be, whoever that'll be, it's entirely possible that they may look to somebody who is already well known for that reason. I hope they don't do that, but I also hope they don't go young either. But not old. You know, you have to remember that Robert Englund, when I say young, I mean,
I'd say like early 40s to mid 40s would be good.
Yeah, Robert Englund was about 35 or 36 in the first Elm Street. So he wasn't young. I think somebody at least like our age, 40, 41, I think is good. Because I don't want somebody who's, like a 25-year-old Freddy. It's just he hasn't lived long enough. He hasn't.
I mean, unless you're doing the backstory of what he did as Springwood slasher.
There's got to be some distance between the time he was murdered by the parents and the time that he's hunting the kids. Like 10 or 15 years.
I still think a Springwood slasher story wouldn't be a bad idea if done right. If done right. Yeah. If you made it, if you went there with it, if you went really dark with it and you went there with it, like what Freddy's known for. I mean, I can't say the word on here because, it's a no-no, but but if they went there with it, that would be a dark fucking film.
Yeah, it would be very dark. And, it is a very tough subject matter. There's a lot, I've said this before on the show, but just kind of piggybacking on what you said there. Originally, Freddy was going, at least there was tossed around ideas of him making him a child molester. Well, they thought that was a little too much, so obviously it was child murderer. They said that's I think that's sort of what ended up happening. But as I often say to people, you couldn't market that. But if he's a child murderer, if he's obsessed with children...
If Cuties can get on Netflix, they can totally market that shit today.
No, I don't... No, wait. I should have been more specific. I don't mean today. I mean back then, back in the 80s, marketing Freddy Krueger
when things were normal.
Yeah, exactly. Marketing, he was marketed as a child murderer, but... I mean, think about it logically. If you're a child murderer, if you're obsessed with killing children, okay, there's probably very few child murderers in the world that aren't also child molesters. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would you have this this obsession with murdering children and only children? But no, I don't want to touch them or anything. I just have this fascination with watching them die. Like chances are, right? Chances are. There's a little more something to that. But you don't have to say it. And if you don't say it and you marketed him as a child murderer...
Well, even, to be honest, if you didn't get into the other side of it, the PM part of it...
Well, yeah, you don't have to.
if you showed him actually killing kids on the screen, that would be intense in itself.
It would be very intense. Absolutely.
You know? So that's what I'm saying. If they went there with it, it could be a very good Nightmare on Elm Street, but it would be a very dark, or Springwood Slasher, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? It would be just very, very dark.
No, I agree. And with Fred, you know, back in the 80s, I mean, it would be very difficult to market all those Freddy Krueger gloves and masks and hats and all that kind of shit to young boys. You know, here's the child molester, kids. I mean, you just couldn't do it. So that's why.
Well, it was a different time, man. I mean,
it was a different,
the country was still very innocent.
Well, no, but you couldn't even do it today, right? So it wouldn't be like.
You don't think so?
Well, I don't think it would be appropriate for kids today to be dressed.
Well, you and I, but I'm talking about now as a whole, as a mass whole. I mean, I know you and I say that, but you don't think that they would pull the trigger
no, I guess
on that?
anything. Well, no, it's true. Anything is possible. You know? Anything is possible. It's absolutely true. But I'm just talking about why it was back in the day.
No, I gotcha.
He wasn't marketed as a child, but for all intents and purposes, I mean, he probably was. I mean, you're not a child murderer and you're not diddling kids. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Sorry, I'm not laughing. It's just the way you say it.
Listen, I know for some people that might be like, Freddy Krueger, it's like, that's fine. No, and that's fine. You can think of it. He's a child murderer. Yes, he is. But if you think about it in a real world scenario kind of situation, why is he murdering kids? Like, why does he have this obsession with just children? You know,
did they ever say why?
That's weird.
Did they ever explain why he did that? Was there a reason? I mean, I know Freddy's Dead sort of, kind of, you know, gets into it, but not really. I mean, but did they ever actually full on explain why he did?
Well, maybe.
No, I'm asking you. Did they?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't think so. Not that I can recall.
Not that I can recall
in any of the films.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah. David Lee Barron, thank you, David. You're on fire tonight, buddy. Have you been to a Tony Robbins live seminar? No, I did. We walked on fire barefoot without getting burned. Do you enjoy Tony Robbins' self-help? Well, I don't listen to Tony Robbins. I'm sure there's things he says that are, and don't take this the wrong way, but I'm sure there are things he says that are great. There are things that Charles Manson says that are true too. I'm not comparing. No, but hear me out.
I love that comparison.
No. See, that's not, no. See, nuance, people. I'm not comparing Tony Robbins to Charles Manson. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of people in the world that say a lot of true shit. You know, they can be like,
true. I mean, I got
right?
that,
like, you know what I mean?
I just wasn't expecting that. You know what I mean? That caught me off guard.
When you listen, I was watching a bunch of Charles Manson shit recently, right? Fascinating guy. And obviously he's Charles Manson. We don't need to go into all the horrible things. But, you know, it's another example of like, here's a guy who is incredibly charismatic. Like, you want charisma. Charles Manson was oozing with charisma. Sit and watch an interview with Charles Manson. And you know instantly why people were enamored with him, especially young, impressionable girls. I don't mean young girls like 10. I mean like, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, young men too, who were, especially in the 60s, who were lost, trying to find their way. The dude is got charisma oozing out of his brain, and out of his pores, I should say. And there's a lot of shit that he says about life and about government and about, people and shit. And, you sit there and you think to yourself, yeah, it's true. He's right. Like, he's not wrong. He's absolutely right. You know what I mean? But then these are the kind of people that always take it way too far, and whatnot. I mean, he would have made a hell of a politician. Very small guy. He's only 5'2", but, anyway, the point I'm making is I'm not comparing Tony Robbins to Charles Manson. I'm just saying that I always find that there's a lot of people that say a lot of really intelligent, insightful things, and I've heard a lot of great things that Tony Robbins has said, but I'm not much of a self-help kind of guy. I think for me, I've always been internal. I've always looked for it internally. It's not that I haven't been depressed or down, or we all have. But I've never turned to self-help. But I know a lot of people do and have turned to him and have found great success in that. So I think that's awesome. But yeah.
Do you now? No question. Manson had a lot of narcissism to him.
Oh,
but
100%.
But here's the
100%.
question: Do you think he was a sociopath or a psychopath?
It's hard to say because the lines between a sociopath and a psychopath can be quite. He was probably more sociopath, probably.
Do you think?
Yeah,
Really? Okay.
I think so, probably.
This is where your girlfriend would need to be here now and start getting into
deep
into the discussion with this.
And I mean, admittedly, it's a little. I'd have to look a little more into it, but it's like that example where there are so many people that I think, when we talk about our, not that he was a celebrity, but of course he became sort of a celebrity by default because of the mystique that surrounded, the murders and the time and the era and him and all that kind of shit. But it's fascinating how, I tell this to people all the time. You can be both. We've had this, conversation. You can be incredibly charismatic and right about a lot of things. And a scuzz
Ted Bundy.
Right. Ted Bundy and a scuzz sucking piece of shit. Look at Kevin Spacey. I mean, just because you're incredibly talented doesn't mean that you're not a piece of garbage. Look at Michael Jackson. Now, I know there's some people out there that go, no, he wasn't this, he wasn't that, or whatever the case is. But I tend to err on the side of
questions.
Yeah, there's very, it's no, there, yeah. Okay. And all I'm saying is that let's hypothetically say Michael Jackson was, okay. That doesn't mean he wasn't one of the greatest entertainers in the history of entertainment. He was. He was fucking amazing. His music was fucking amazing. His dancing was fucking amazing. He's one of the greatest entertainers who has ever lived. Period. It can be both. And that's what's scary. And that's what's unfortunate. That's what a lot of people hide from. And these narcissistic people hide. They hide, in their, well, that guy cannot possibly be, I think he's far too talented. He can't possibly be that kind of an, yeah, they can. They can, and I'm not here to say that he was or wasn't. I'm just saying that I think sometimes we have to remember that just because somebody is talented or charismatic or successful or polite or, whatever the case is, doesn't mean that behind closed doors, they're not a fucking scuzz-sucking piece of shit, because they can be. And there's a plethora of examples of it. Look at Bill Cosby, man, America's dad. Holy shit. He could be one of the most notorious serial rapists of all time. I mean, Jesus.
But he lures you in with that Jell-O.
Putting pop in the Jell-O and the bism and the dism and the dism and the...
Oh, shit.
But I'm just
Let's get on to another topic because it's getting too heavy.
Okay.
We're getting way too heavy.
Let's do it. Gary Glitter
this
says
is heavy.
Gypsy Warrior. Yeah, you're
Marty
right.
Would say.
Hey, Doc, this is heavy. Heavy. Why is everything so heavy? Is there something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Good old Doc.
This is heavy, Doc. This is really heavy, man. Heavy. Why is everything so heavy in the future? Is there something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull? I love that line. So great. But anyway, yeah, like you kind of see my point, right? But I'm glad you had a great time with Tony Robbins, though, because as far as I know, there's nothing weird about him. So that's good.
Good shit.
Let's see here. We missed some super chats. Oh boy, let's scroll back here.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people in here. Okay, so oh yeah, the Buddy Guy says, did you guys watch Cobra Kai? What did you think? And then Cobra Dojo says, that wasn't me, Dave. We just have similar picks. Okay, cool. Yes, I love the first two seasons of Cobra Kai. Looking forward to season 3.
January 8th, baby. Woo! Can't get here soon enough. Season 3.
January 8th.
Yep.
How am I sounding here? Hey, it still sounds okay. The volume sounds good. Maybe we fixed it. Who the fuck knows? Let's see here. Scott7 sends in another super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says, watched one of your old Q&As. You were in rare form. I've never laughed harder. You mean Tony and I or my old Q&A? At one of your videos, you were talking about a creature in the bushes with a katana. Oh, I know what you're... okay, it is one of mine. It's a couple of years ago, I started a Q&A where I was showcasing a lot of stuff. I have like a katana blade, a sword, and I had that out and I was doing a funny skit with it. I remember that. Yeah, it was a couple years ago. That's funny. Yeah, I was, I can bust out my rare form every now and then. Tony's sitting there. The look on your face, you're like, fucking get on with it, McRae. Cobra Dojo.
Wait, I lost you. Wait,
you lost me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Shit.
Uh-oh. Hello, test.
Okay, there you are. Test.
I'm here?
Yeah.
I'm here.
I kind of was like,
Oh,
it sounded like a bad phone call for a split second there. Like you were cutting in and out, like breaking up.
Uh-oh.
No, you don't have me now?
No, I have you. I just want to make sure that I'm okay with everybody there. Okay. All right.
This fucking system.
Fuck. Cobra Dojo.
We got to look at other streaming services.
At Tony Michael, I asked Dave this, his 10 desert island movies about 2 weeks ago. What are yours, bro? 10. Like, dude, 10 desert island movies? I still haven't thought of this. I've been too busy, but 10? 10. Dude, what are your 400 desert island movies, Tony? No, I'm just...
Well, for sure, Karate Kid would be there because that's my all-time favorite film.
Texas
for
Chainsaw.
Sure, Halloween 4, and Halloween 2. I have to bring those three.
All right.
I'll be happy with that.
Okay.
Karate Kid 2 because I need to complete the 2 there. I can live without 3.
You can live without 3?
Yeah, I can live without Karate Kid 3.
Ooh,
I'm okay
you
with
can
that.
live without Karate Kid 3. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've never liked the sequence of how that story was told because he survived. He basically lives through a death match in Karate Kid 2, and he becomes a pansy little bitch again in Karate Kid 3. And I just like, okay, whatever. It never made sense to me, but okay. I don't know. 10.
I know
it's
like
hard
10.
because I love so many films, but like for sure, Karate Kid would be there. A couple of Halloweens would be there. I can't. I'm looking at my Rocky. I can't live without Rocky either. I don't know if I can narrow it down to just 10. It'd be hard.
Right. I got you. Just checking the audio. Zach Axiola says, Dave, are there any deleted scenes you can think of that would make an already great movie even greater? My personal pick would be the deleted scenes from Titanic. I said, are there any deleted scenes you can think of that would make an already great movie even greater? My personal pick would be the deleted scenes from Titanic. I don't know. That's a good question.
Titanic's already 3 hours long. You're gonna make it longer?
I'm not
I have
sure.
a hard time getting through the 3 hours already.
I'm not sure.
Deleted scenes from a movie that would make it better.
Make it already better. Yeah.
That from a good movie that's hard to make it even better.
Yeah. Oh, some people said my robot voice came back earlier. Is it? Hopefully. I know. Well, my voice sounds okay at the moment, but I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I can't think of any. I can't think of any deleted scenes right now.
I mean, there's scenes sometimes I see like, oh, why did they delete that? That would have been so cool if they had it in the film, but like it doesn't. I don't know, like that. But that happens like it actually happens a lot. I mean, there's sometimes I like I don't know. I can't think of any.
David Lee Barron says, "Sing a Tiny Tim song." Sing a Tiny Tim song. What like that?
I think there was a few you skipped over, bro.
Oh, did I skip over? Oh yeah, I did. I did.
Skipped over quite a few.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, there was.
I think I'm at Bud Gumperson. Am I not?
Bud Gumperson. I like that.
Hey, man.
I do. Actually, really, that's a cool name. Bud Gumperson.
Bud Gumperson's pretty cool
name ever.
Bud Gumperson's pretty cool. US $9.99 from Bud Gumperson says, "Hey, Dave and Tony, I've been making little films and skits for years now, but how would you recommend making the next step to get my foot in the door in the film business?"
Honestly, I think if you just keep doing what you're doing now, you know, I think you're going to see a serious change here in the very near future. And it's a lot of things happening in Hollywood that I think the industry isn't going to be the sole area now to be a filmmaker. And think about it. Now. I mean, dude, just with your iPhone, you can make a fucking movie. You know what I mean? Like the way we are advancing with technology and what we have at our disposal to create, you know, movies. I mean, the GH5 that I'm using right now, I can make a full feature film with that. You know, because the key thing really is you got to know your framing for your cinematography. And it's not even so much that. You can even be a shitty cinematographer as long as your story is good and your sound is good. If you have those two things going for you, you can make a movie. And I just think, I mean, look at, I always want to call him Ryan Sandberg, but that's the Chicago Cubs player, David F. Sandberg. Ryan Sandberg, for those who don't know, was, I think, a third baseman for the Cubs in the 80s. Okay. But anyways, David Sandberg, he, you know, put a little short on YouTube and look at, he fucking turned it into a feature film. And I think more and more in juxtaposed to mine and Dave's childhood, which seemed like so far out the realm. I mean, dude, we were making Jason movies and Friday the Halloween films with like bullshit stuff, like man-made fucking Jason mask that didn't even look like a hockey mask, the fucking old Don Post Myers mask. And, you know, we're talking like filming it on the big ass fucking VHS and cutting it up on a video toaster. For those who don't know, it's an editing thing that we did. I know, right? A toaster. Holy shit. Yeah. Back in the day. But the idea of making a full feature back when we were younger was having to go to Hollywood. I think that is going to seriously change in the future because, again, where we're evolving with technology and the accessibility of things that we can now purchase and get and rent to create our own shit. Now, if you're talking like creating a Halloween film, well, now you're getting into the red tape of copyright and all that stuff like that. But your own original, no, man, you can pretty much do that shit now. Do you agree or disagree?
No, I agree. And it's been like that for a while now. But I think when anybody says, you know, how do I get into the business? Obviously, they're talking about getting into the business at a professional level, making movies that, you know, you see in the movie theater that we go to pay and see. And, you know, I mean, there's no answer to it. You know, it's a combination of who you know, it's a combination of luck, it's a combination of talent. I cannot express talent. You know, I
don't know about that, man. Sometimes people get picked and I'm like, really?
No, it's true. But I mean, certainly talent is, yes, it depends on the situation. And, you know, but you have to have a clear defined path of what you want to do. And that doesn't mean that you won't end up doing something else, but you have to have a clear in your mind what you want to do and to continue to pursue it. It's hard for me to say, you know, and I get asked this a lot, but it's hard for me to say to you, Bud, because I don't know you. I've been making short films and skits for years now, but how would you recommend the next steps or, you know, my foot in the door to get into the film business? Well, it's hard for me, and I say this with all due respect, it's hard for me to know because I don't know what the quality of those films or skits are like. Are they professional films? Are they like in terms of production value and you hired a crew and you shot on a nice camera and you raised a little money, or, you know, or maybe you didn't, but you saved some money and you had a little lighting kit and you edit it together and you used, you know, I mean, is it, you know, not a Hollywood film, but, you know, you would watch and go, yeah, this is a little, you know, professional independent short film? Or is it something that looks like it, looks like it festivals. Was amateur, right?
That would be an idea. You know, you can get into festivals. Oh, yeah.
Well, there's lots of that. You have to get accepted to festivals first, right? And sure, festivals are only going to accept quality work.
Sure.
And so, you know, I like to be,
but you can even start off at small local festivals. Like, do you guys up in Toronto, like here in Atlanta, we have every year, it's not a big national one. It's really intended for local talent, film festivals. Do you guys, I know you guys got TIFF, but I'm talking about beyond, not just TIFF.
Sure.
Do you guys have like small local ones? Because we have it here in Atlanta, and they encourage people to, if small budget, low budget, and submit in, and that's a start. You know what I mean? It gets your, it gets feedback, and you start at the small local ones, and then maybe, hey, you might get to tip.
That's exactly my point, right? Is that if Bud is at the level of, I'm an amateur, I like to make little films, but they're not like professional films, then that would be the way to go, is to make a film or to submit your films into local festivals that are asking for amateur productions, where the production
local talent,
where the production value isn't a requirement, and I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not, they're not paying attention to that necessarily, because they're trying to showcase local talent, amateurs, things like that. But if
great way to build connections.
Yeah, it is. But it's a lot. There's no magic button, and there isn't. It's a lot of hard work. It really is. It's not a thing that sometimes you can get yourself into a position where things begin to snowball and things pick up quickly for you, but that road to that point is tough, and you got to be consistent, and you got to realize that people in the big picture, you'll eventually have to be doing quality work, and it takes time. And I don't say that to tell people not to do it. I like to be realistic, because I that's how I handle voiceover as well. I say that to VO talent all the time. People will send me demos and they'll say, what do you think of this? And I will say, obviously I'm not rude, but I will say, well, I have to be honest with you, I don't think it's very good. And they're sort of taken back by it. And I explain why. I give them a positive, not positive, obviously, but a constructive feedback. And I lay it out and I tell why this, but I'm not going to say something's great when it's not, because that doesn't do them any good. And it doesn't do me any good as a professional. So it's always good to be honest and to curve them in the right direction. And Tony's suggestion is a good one, especially if you're at the sort of the grassroots level, where you've made some small kind of things, but they're amateur. Start there. Look for some festivals that require amateur home movie kind of style of films. Now, if you're above that and you're beyond that, well, then maybe you can look at a little higher tier festivals. And if you're way beyond that and your films are professional, well, then you can submit them to whoever you want to submit them to. But we just have to be realistic about those goals. Sorry?
No, I was just saying, all you need is a good story. And
yep.
You're off and running.
Too. That's important too.
That's it. Good story, and you're off and running to the races.
But festivals is good. Yeah. Hone your craft, work hard, have a great story, maybe invest in a little bit of, some gear, save up, and now, especially today, like there's YouTube videos after YouTube videos after tutorials after tutorials after tutorials telling you how to frame a shot, talking about focus, talking about lenses and cameras and lighting and angles. And there's no reason today why even shooting on your phone could not look pretty good. Wow. Wow, they shot this scene 3 different times from 3 different angles and they pieced it together. There's no reason why an amateur film today shot on your phone, shooting a movie, like say a conversation at a table, can't be shot 3 different ways. If you have one camera, that means you have to shoot it 3 different times, but you can do that. And then you piece it together and it makes the scene more interesting. I always tell that to people too who are aspiring. I say, they'll often ask me, how do I make my amateur movies look more professional? And I say, change up the camera angles. There's more often than not, I see somebody shooting from one angle the entire time, the entire scene. It's 2 people on a couch and they just sit there for 5 minutes shooting these. That's a great establishing shot, right? As a master shot, but shoot that scene from that angle, then go in for close-ups and shoot the other person, shoot that scene again, but shoot them, and then shoot the scene again and shoot the other person. And then when you put it together, mix and match, and it makes it more visually interesting to watch, and it gives more of a professional feel to it. That instantaneously will improve your production value, with things like that.
Not only that, but again, you don't need a lot of equipment to produce. Again, I could do a full feature film with a GH5. If you want to get into really good storytelling, start doing 10 to 15 minute short documentaries on real life people. And that will begin how to tell a story, because you're taking a subject matter, whatever it may be. Maybe you know someone in your area who's a disabled veteran who fought in Afghanistan or Iraq or something. Take that story. Don't go for the full 60-hour doc. Just do a 10, 15 minute. Okay. And discipline yourself to tell a beginning, a middle, and end with that subject. And that will hone your craft to knowing to how to tell a story properly when you want to go into feature. Because a lot of times, a lot of directors start off by doing documentary film work because you are telling the story of a subject matter. Just don't shoot for the moon. And I'm not saying not to do that, but I'm saying, like, don't put that type of pressure on yourself when you don't need to. And you can keep it really short and hone your storytelling that way. And then once you feel confident, go to the movies.
And Tony's right in the sense that, you can shoot and produce amazing things on iPhones and Android phones today. And you absolutely can. Now, eventually down the road, you'll want to invest in more.
Oh yeah, well, that's where the studios come in.
Well, no, but even on your own, you'll want to invest in a higher end DSLR, or you'll want to invest in, a Canon C.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the Aries and.
Oh no. I'm talking about like a higher end, like a Canon Mark III or something. But what it comes down to is at the end of the day, if all you have is just your phone, man, I'm telling you, you will improve your production value huge by shooting scenes from several different angles. It's true. Oh, and don't make it bloated. Don't turn a 5-minute idea into a 2-hour idea, because it's just not going to work. But anyway. Let me see here. Let's David Lee Barron. Remember when Arnold was attacked and drop kicked in the back? I do. Come on, kick me again.
Come on.
Scott Seven says my favorite director is Richard Linklater. Thoughts? Yeah, I wouldn't have pegged Richard Linklater to be anybody's favorite director, but I guess I could see it, understand it. Yeah, he kind of slips under the radar.
My favorite director is Dominic. What was the guy's last name?
No, it's not. You lying sack.
Trolling.
Shit. Where is it here?
Trolling.
Where is it here? Here we go.
He's the greatest. He's the greatest.
He's the greatest director of all time.
Ever.
Jason Myers says, hey, Dave and Tony, what was it like for you and everyone transitioning from 1999 to 2000? Y2K and the world ending.
It really wasn't that bad because we didn't really have social media.
Well, no, we didn't have social media. There was no social media.
Well, AOL. We had AOL, Instant Messenger, but I don't really know if that counts.
No. Social media was the beginning of like Facebook and things like that. Yeah, no, we had MSN Messenger and ICQ.
Oh my God, yeah, ICQ. Oh,
I remember my first year of college walking down the hall, moving into my dorm room, and I could hear all down the hall, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. Instant Messenger.
Dude, we partied hard New Year's Eve. Where were you? I was in Quebec.
You were in Quebec. That's
true. Yeah, because I wasn't 21 yet. I couldn't drink, so we had to go to Canada to drink.
That's crazy because I was in Ottawa, just across.
And this is going to Quebec without passport.
So we didn't need a passport. Where in Quebec were you?
We went on the riverboat.
Yeah, but
the Quebec riverboat that goes around the city, the harbor, or whatever.
Were you in Montreal,
I don't know.
Quebec City?
Quebec City.
Oh,
yes, Quebec City.
Okay. So you were a little.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Quebec City is where we were
at.
And there was like a river party boat that we were partying on. And they had the fireworks that went off on I guess it was a Revolutionary War tower thing that's there in the city because it's very Quebec City. First of all, beautiful fucking city, really beautiful, but it's very old and historic. And we had went there for a trip for school. And you and I had already graduated, of course. So everyone was trying to figure out what we were going to do for the millennium.
Yes.
And of course, some of us were old enough to drink. Some of us weren't, we were all like in that kind of middle part there, like 18, 19, 20. And so we were just like, well, fuck it. And again, this is at a time where, you know, pre 9/11, pre fucking bullshit stuff. We didn't need a passport to go to Canada. We just needed our birth certificate to show that we were U.S. citizens and our driver's license. And that's it. Cross the border and fucking dude, we got shit face. I met a nice Quebec girl that night. That's for sure.
You did.
I did.
Well, I was in Ottawa because that's where I grew up. I was born in Toronto, but I moved to Ottawa, which is our capital, which is just literally on the border of Quebec, not city, but on the border of the province.
With the province, right?
Yeah, so we were probably about 3 hours away from each other, maybe four, because Montreal is 2 hours from Ottawa. So Quebec City, how far is Quebec City from Montreal?
I don't know. That's your neck of the woods, man.
Hey Google, how far is Quebec City from Montreal?
It's 254 kilometers to get to Quebec City from Montreal.
Okay, so that's 254 kilometers. That's 2.5 hours. So yeah, okay. So we were probably like 4 hours.
What is that in miles?
We were probably about 4 or 5 hours from each other. Because I spent the time I was 10 years old till the time I was 20. So from 1989 to 1999, I was in Ottawa. Anyway, what do I remember about the new year 1999?
Honestly, we didn't take any of that shit seriously.
No. But I think I was, I was just hanging with my friends. I mean, I was just with my friends. And I don't remember a lot, not because of any drinking or anything, but just because it's 21 years ago. So I'm just trying to think I remember being a big deal, but it wasn't a big deal either. Like, I think nobody was worried about the end of the world. The only thing that I remember people being worried about was just the whole, the Y2K, but the computer thing, right? Like the clock's not, like what's going to happen with all the computers all over the world, which I guess is kind of an end of a world scenario, but it was pretty uneventful.
But even when you say that, you got to remember too, computers weren't as, I mean, yes, we were using them. Like I was using them for creative things on like Macs, and stuff like that. But we weren't, there wasn't like we need, you know what I mean? Like they were there as a tool in the house. Right. So like if they did stop working, I don't think we would have fucking cared, to be honest with you.
No, it's true. You're absolutely right. I don't.
Because that was our attitude.
Yeah. I'm just going to, my feet up here and wait, move that over.
He's gonna relax. Relax. You need a pipe.
Yes, I do. I need a pipe, bitches. No, you're right though, and I don't recall. I don't recall that being a big deal, really. At the end of the day, I just don't. It wasn't. And computers, Tony's right. I mean, we had a computer, but the internet was still dial up, and. And
dude, do you remember the CDs for the hours you could get? You know what I mean? And you had to like monitor the hours of like free internet before you started to have to pay for that shit.
Yes.
Dude, those things were like, I mean, a lot of you probably have no clue what we're talking about right now, but back in the day, they would send you these like sample for like, because you had to pay for internet time. Yes. And you would get these like, free hours, and you literally would be clocking it and then get the next one to throw it in once you ran out and have to fucking start everything all over again.
Yeah.
God, that was a headache.
Yeah, I just don't.
That's why they were a tool. They were like owning a hammer. It wasn't like it is today.
No, it wasn't. I just don't remember 1999 New Year's Eve night being any big deal. I just don't remember it being any big deal. I know maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was 20. Maybe I should go back and watch newscasts from 1999 and maybe it'll spark some memories. But I remember hanging with friends. We were having a good time. It was New Year's Eve and there was probably some jokes like, shit's gonna go down at midnight. But nobody was like, it's not like everybody was, the world had stopped and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tom Brokaw for NBC News. We're all watching here right now. The countdown is on. Holy fucking shit. What's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Calm the fuck down. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. It wasn't anything like that at all. The ball dropped in New York. Everybody, woo, yay. And they want to, go on with your day. It really was kind of uneventful.
If you were here in the States, you were watching good old Dick Clark.
Dick Clark, that's right. Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve. Yeah. Where are we here? What's going on here? Richard Linklater and then Y2K, Jason Myers. We got some lots came in here.
You got a lot of super chats.
Lots came in here. Cobra Dojo sends in a £5 super chat. Thank you, Cobra. Cobra says, cut
so that's
out the
£5.
obvious.
Okay.
He's overseas. Cut out the obvious. What are your 3 favorite movies based on Stephen King novels? That means no Green Mile, no Shawshank, or Shining. Well, I guess that would probably mean then I would go with the short films. So I'd have to go with Stand By Me. Although Shawshank was a short film. Oh, was Shawshank a short film? It might not have been. Stand By Me was the body. I'd go with, Carrie. I was just going to say that. Carrie. Yep.
Christine.
And maybe Christine. Yep. Yeah, Christine, Carrie, and Stand By Me. Then I think.
And I can't reach it. It is just out of my reach, but it is up there. So that would be another one.
Yeah.
But it, man, it is like, it is a commitment. It is the only serious commitment I've ever given to anything in my life, okay? Because it is a commitment. That is a long book.
When you're talking about it, you have to emphasize it like you're saying it in capitals. So it's going to be like, dude, I love the book. It. Yeah, it is a great book, man. It is really good.
Hey, Cobra Dojo, by the way, question for you, because I've just become a huge fan of these guys. Do you follow the Store? I think they're called Store with like 2 R's. I know they're like kind of big over there in the UK. And they do a lot of parkour stuff, and like those guys are really fucking fun to watch. I just kind of started watching them during the whole COVID thing, and been following them, and very talented athletes. So I didn't know if like if they were like popular or like superstars in your neck of the woods and you knew who they were. I think that's how you say their name. They're just young guys that are they basically just jump around off of rooftops and do somersaults and crazy fucking shit that I would never do.
No, there's no amount of money in the world that you get me to do that. None.
But they can. I love watching it, but shit.
Sometimes my knees get weak when I watch them, man. Holy shit. Geeked Out Turtles fan 40 sends in a $5 super chat. Says, just imagine this. Stephen King does a Sesame Street episode. Yeah, why not? I'd be down for it. Cobra Dojo says, hey guys, I think Gypsy Warrior has a question. Gypsy Warrior has a question. Gypsy Warrior retracted the question. I see there. So I don't. Oh, what? He's got a couple. Thank you, Cobra Dojo. Appreciate it, man. Dave McRae, excited about Cry Macho with Clint Eastwood. I didn't know Clint Eastwood was making a movie called Cry Macho.
I love it. The dude is like 90 and he's still going. I love it.
Still going, man.
Love it, man. That is the true definition of a badass.
Damn fucking right, motherfuckers.
Do you know what movie I just saw with him in it not too long ago? It's a young Clint Eastwood, but the cast is great. It's got Carol O'Connor in it. Kelly's Heroes.
Oh, that's one.
You ever seen that?
Years ago. Yes, that is good.
It's a great movie. Yeah. I mean, my dad had been telling me, he's like, dude, you got to watch it. I'm telling you, you're going to like, because I like Carol O'Connor, Archie, and whatnot, and Clint. But it's a great cast. It's a really good cast. I mean, there's other names in there. It's highly recommend it, guys, if you haven't seen it. Kelly's Hero. It's like it's a war movie. Came out, early 70s or late 60s, Dave? Would you say?
Good. Sorry?
Would you say, did it come out late 60s or early 70s?
I think it's early 70s. Hey, Google.
Okay.
Wait, what's the title again?
Kelly's Heroes.
Right. Hey, Google, what year did Kelly's Heroes come out? I'm going to say 70. I think it's like right on the button.
The release date of Kelly's Heroes was June 23rd, 1970.
Oh, $100 for Dave McRae.
$100 for Dave McRae. I nailed it. Yeah, because I didn't think it was quite the 60s, but it kind of felt like a little bit of the 70s, but not quite the 70s.
I didn't know if it was late 60s or early, because I know it was just before he did All in the Family.
Yes. Yep. William Long sends in a very generous super chat. Thank you, William. Says, hey, D&T. D&T. I always think it sounds like AT&T. Hey, D&T. Work was absolute insanity today, but you two always offer a nice escape from all that. Appreciate you both greatly. Any specific performances you think were criminally underrated? For me, it's Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday.
Oh, yeah, that was going to be my go-to, dude. You took it right. That's a
good one.
Yeah.
Criminally underrated.
That's a great one. Leo in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He lost the Academy to Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive.
Was that who he lost
Picture
to?
that. Yeah, well, Tommy Lee won Best Supporting Actor because Harrison was the lead.
No, I just didn't know if that was the movie he lost. That was who he lost to? Wow.
I mean, it's like, I'm not saying Tommy Lee Jones isn't a great actor, but I don't think his performance as the Marshal was Academy Award winning, especially when you look at what Leo did in fucking Gilbert Grape. But
if that's who he lost to, I would have to agree with that, actually. Tommy Lee Jones was fine, but to win an Academy Award for that, that is kind of strange. Because he was no better than Ford. Ford wasn't even nominated.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I love it. It's a fun action film.
And both Ford and Jones are great, but Jones wasn't any better than Ford, and Ford wasn't nominated. So, I mean, Jones is fine. He does his little quip, and he's got his little, I'm going to tell you right now, bling, 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 bling. You know how he is in the movie, right? Like, yeah, he's fun. He's quippy, and he's got his little shtick, but I mean, Academy Award winning? I mean, yeah, I've always thought that was, kind of, he was, DiCaprio was great in Gilbert Grape. I'll tell you right now, I don't think this is underrated, because I think when you watch it, everybody walks away going, actually, is it you that doesn't like this movie? Maybe you don't like this movie. Anyway, I love this movie, and I think DiCaprio's performance in this movie is fucking fantastic. Well, he's usually great.
Oh, I know where you're going.
He's usually great in every movie he's in, right? I mean, let's be honest, right? There isn't. I mean, some movies are better than others, but DiCaprio is usually not the problem in the movies, right? He's great. Yeah. He's great in everything he's in. I love Revolutionary Road, and I think he is fantastic in that movie. Opposite Kate Winslet, Michael Shannon is in it, Kathy Bates is in it. 2008. It was the first time they had hooked up to be in a movie again since Titanic.
Based on a couple in my home state, Connecticut.
There you go. And it is, his performance in that is, I think it's an underrated film, personally. And I think his performance is, I don't know if his performance is underrated, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's criminally underrated. But I just think it's a movie that it kind of slipped under the radar. But I think if you watch it, you'll be like, oh, dude, this is really this intense movie. And his, like, him and Kate Winslet at the end of that movie, when they're going back and forth with each other, oh my God.
Intense.
Oh my God. Intense doesn't even fucking describe
It's just the lead up to that. It's the pacing.
I love it. I love it. I like it. I like it. I think it's great. And props to Michael Shannon, too. Like, he's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
He's so great.
I like Shannon.
He's,
did you see Waco?
He was in that, wasn't he? Yeah, that's right.
He plays the FBI guy, the negotiator.
Yes,
he's really good in that.
Good.
Waco is probably my favorite
miniseries
of the year.
Right.
It would have been Cobra Kai, I'm sure, but that didn't come out.
I forgot he was there. You're right. He was in that. Chris Baber, my man, Chris sends in a super chat.
Chris
Hello,
Baber.
Fuggers. I like that. Fuggers. I like that.
Fuggers.
Dave, you ever watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil? Tony, tell him it's awesome. I've never even heard of Tucker and Dale versus Evil. What the hell is Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know.
What the hell is Tucker and Dale versus Evil? I have absolutely, unequivocally no idea.
Are those? Is that the two rednecks?
You mean two rednecks that sound like that? Hey man, my name's
rednecks
Tucker. My name's Dale. I sound like Gomer Pyle. And my name's Evil, man. Yeah. That's what it is. So it's two guys. Hey, my name's Tucker. My name's Dale. And my name's Evil, bitch. Well, I'm going to fuck you up, motherfucker. Yeah. Come on, man. What are you playing over there, Tony? Tony's got something he wants to play.
I've got something. You have to wait for it, though.
I gotta wait for it. Gotta wait for the right moment. The right moment.
The beat.
The beat.
The
goes
payoff.
on. The beat goes on. Colin Murdy says, "Hey guys, if you could go back in time, what film set would you most like to be on? And of all the actors who are no longer with us, who'd most like to meet?" Wow. Well, I would love to have been on the set of Jaws. I would have loved to have been on the set of 2001, A Space Odyssey. I think that would have been pretty damn cool to be on the set of that too.
Well, we've talked about this. Now, I mean, Kubrick is my boy, don't get me wrong, and he's my all-time favorite director, but I've said that, well,
I know what
I
you're
shouldn't say
going to
he's my
say.
all-time.
I know what you're going to say.
He's right there with Wes. He's right there with Wes Craven as far as my favorite directors. It's neck and neck. And I mean, I love Kubrick from the artistic point of view and how he frames his shots and how he uses his, negative space and leading lines and rule of thirds and framing, each scene.
Yes.
But I think from the educational perspective, I feel that I would probably be a better Padawan to Wes Craven because I feel like he would be more open to teaching in whatnot. So if I had to choose, I probably would pick Nightmare on Elm Street and just to be there in that moment with Wes creating Tina's death, which is, again, this is just my opinion. Tina's death is probably the best kill in horror ever. Like, it's number one on my list.
It is.
It's such a creative kill. We know how it's done because we've seen it. But I would have loved to have seen that just unfolding before my eyes, how they made it happen.
Right.
How they put her in the rotating room and, and whatnot. And we hear the stories of how Amanda, freaked out, had that vertigo moment, and, Wes had to go up there and calm her down. And like, just would have been a really cool set to have been on. And how they did the flip thing with, I think they did it in one take with Johnny Depp's bed with the gushing out the water and all that shit.
Something like that, yeah.
But just, yeah, if I had to pick a set to be on, I would pick it over Carpenter's Halloween. I mean, not saying Halloween wouldn't have been a good experience, but again, I think I would have gained more as an artist and as, someone inspiring to be in the business if I was on the set with Wes on Nightmare on Elm Street.
For me, it would be, that's, I mean, everything you've said there is spot on. I would have, if it's Kubrick, it's 2001.
I have to go with Clockwork because of the artistic vision he did with that. If it's
Spielberg, I'm going to say either Jaws or Raiders. If it's...
Those are two tough.
I know.
I mean, damn.
If it's Lucas, I'm going to say, obviously, it's the original Star Wars. Or maybe even American Graffiti.
American Graffiti?
Maybe even American Graffiti.
I was going to say, man.
If it's Craven, I got to go the first Elm Street. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it is. It's the same. If it's Carpenter, the first Halloween or The Thing, I mean, that would have been, but Halloween, yeah, obviously. But Halloween's one of those movies. Yes, it's my favorite horror movie of all time, but it's a very unassuming film, and I don't know.
It's a simple film when you really think about it.
Like, it's not, like, it's become a classic, but, like, I actually think being on the Psycho set might have been even more.
I watched that last night.
You did the film?
Yeah.
I think because you see, people sometimes forget that Alfred Hitchcock was well into his career when he did Psycho. He was well established.
Yeah, he was like, what, 50, 60 years old, give or take?
Yeah, and like Psycho was what, like his 30th movie or something ridiculous like that? He was well into his career when he did Psycho. And Carpenter was new and up and coming. Nobody knew who the hell he was. He just did Assault on Precinct 13. So to be on the set with Hitchcock in his, like, no, I don't want to say prime, but like kind of like already established and what that would have been like and the atmosphere and the environment and like, but then you could say, well, what about Carpenter? You could have been on the set of Halloween, but nobody knew who he was. And it wouldn't have been like, wow, I'm with John Carpenter. I guess if I go back in time, I would have that perspective. But if I was like a person in the 70s working on the movie, I wouldn't have that perspective. I would just be like, hey, this is some guy with a mustache named John Carpenter making a fucking Halloween movie. Like it wouldn't have been like anything to me. If you want to be on a Carpenter movie where it's like, holy shit, we're on a John Carpenter movie, well, then you go to like, like They Live or The Thing or Prince of Darkness or something where he's established, you know what I mean? But to be on the set with Hitchcock and Psycho or Rear Window, man, I mean, you could say the same thing about Spielberg, I guess, with Jaws, but Jaws has entered pop culture. I mean, Jaws is like a pop culture phenomenon. You know what I mean? So that's a whole different beast right there. But
and I've always had that debate, the debate with Halloween fans on that. I mean, look, Halloween is number 2 on my list of horror films. I mean, it is above Elm Street, but from a creative point of view, Elm Street is the superior film as far as creativity goes, hands down.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
it's creative in its scares. It's creative in its suspense.
It's a different kind of
even
movie,
just the
though,
simple, the latex scene, spandex scene, where Nancy's sleeping and Freddie, lurches through, just watching those guys create that shit, man, would have been just like, it would have been so cool.
It would have been wild. It would have been wild. I think somebody the other day even said to me too, would you like to have been on the Black Christmas set? And I was like, sure. I don't
just so I can flirt with Margot Kidder.
Yeah, or Olivia Hussey. But no, I think it's more sure, who wouldn't turn, but it depends. I guess the question is the perspective, and I guess the question was if you could go back in time. So to be fair to Colin, I guess it is that we do have the perspective. We're not somebody that was born at that time that doesn't have the perspective. So I guess it doesn't really matter what set you go to then at that point. Each movie, you have the perspective of knowing what it becomes, what's its eventuality success, its eventual success, I should say, will be. So if from that perspective, you can go back to Black Christmas, and even though it's unassuming and really kind of boring and kind of what is this little Christmas movie, you at least in your own mind kind of know, wow, this is the Black Christmas set. Holy fucking shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to play that game. What actors who are no longer with us, who would you most like to meet? I would say I never had the chance to meet John Candy. I would love to have met John Candy. My dad met him a couple of times. My brother Neil did in the early 90s. I would have loved to have met John Candy. I just watched Uncle Buck last night, actually. So Uncle Buck loved John Candy. He's a Canadian treasure. Supers.
Can I answer one really quick?
It'll
take me 2 seconds.
Yes.
Intel Wild, as I mentioned in the email or in the DM to you on the poster that you won a little while back, that you selected the ghost face with him holding a knife and sitting in the chair. It's a 6 to 8 week turnaround time, dude. I told you, with COVID, the turnaround time on this stuff it's going to be a long process, and I'm at their mercy because it's a professional printing shop. And that's what they told me. And as soon as I get it, bro, I'm sending it right to you.
Cool. Awesome stuff. Super Soul Fried Disco sends in a $5 super chat and says, so are the rumors true that Donald Trump will play Billy and It's Me, Billy? And will the fact that he has COVID halt the production? The rumors are true. I'm Billy.
Rumors are true. Trump is coming.
I'm Billy. Frank Riker says, gonna get this in now for the sexy MFers in the chat. Thank you so much, Frank. Really appreciate that, buddy. And David Lee Barron says, any movies you watch you enjoy so much that you have multiple full body orgasms over? How about movies that make you vomit? I can't say either end of the spectrum. I don't think there's any movies that I have full body orgasms over.
Movies that made me vomit.
I've never had a movie that's made me vomit. I've never had that.
No.
Never had that. That's Intel Wild. Yes, Intel Wild. I see you got that there. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. DMT Infinity says, Dave, I know the horror movies you're in love with and would fall in love with. And I know you don't really play games, but if you ever get into any, I highly suggest playing the 3 Silent Hill games. Okay, yeah, if I get into games, I'll check it out. I mean, I like games. It's not that I don't like games. I'm just not a gamer. I'm not, whatever. But, when the PlayStation 5 comes out, I probably won't get it, the day it comes out, because I still have a PS4. But I'll eventually get the PS5. Robert Thidoff says...
Not me. I got my 8-bit.
You got your... I got it, too. I was
in 16.
I was playing fucking Mario the other day. Robert Thidoff says, would you guys have done what Halloween... With Halloween 6 what would you guys have done with Halloween 6 to explain the Man in Black? That's a good question, Robert. Because
I never would have even brought the Man in Black into the equation.
No, but because he was brought into the equation,
I would have made him a little bit more significant than Dr. fucking Wynn.
Yeah, it's a good question. Because obviously
that was talk about the worst payoff ever.
That was terrible. He hands it off. I would say, what would I do with the Man in Black? Who is he? That's a good question because it's throwing
Michael's father.
Yeah, it throws such a wrench into everything. You know what I mean? It's like Maybe it's Loomis.
What the Man in Black did is what you should never do in a horror film, okay? Is you don't want people to go, wait, who is this dude? And take the attention off of your main killer, which is Michael in the film. Because when you're watching Halloween 5 for the first time, you're now distracted by who the fuck is this person and what is he doing and why does he have the same tattoo? And you never want to do that. You never want someone to be here above your, killer in the film. And that's what ultimately Halloween 5 does. When you're watching it for the first time, we've now seen it and it's been out for 30 years. Jesus Christ. Yeah. God damn, time flies. You don't do that. And talk about the one.
I know.
That makes me want to vomit.
Yeah, I know. It's.
Did we do that one already? We did.
Halloween 5? I think we did. I can't remember.
No, we haven't done 6. Yeah,
no, we haven't done 6. We have not done 6.
We haven't done 2, which I'm looking forward to. 3.
I'm looking forward to 2, man. David Lee Barron says, "Ever watched Three Ninjas?" I did. I mean, the kids movie from the
my brother
early
did.
90s.
Yeah,
I think I saw the first one, but I was already
my brother was a fan of that.
I think. Hey Google.
That was more my brother's age because my brother was like 4 years younger than us.
Come out?
Three Ninjas was released on August 7th, 1992 in the United States of America.
I was 13. Yeah, a little old for that, but I think I did see the first one. Let's see here. We'll go a little.
Oh, I like Zach's question here. Given your nostalgia for the original, will Top Gun Maverick be your most anticipated film of 2021? It would have been, except I gotta say Robert Pattinson's The Batman is probably my most anticipated film for 2021 because that fucking trailer's got me going on all cylinders. I mean, think about it. Just in a 2-week time frame, though, you've got The Batman, and then 2 weeks later, you got Halloween Kills coming out. I don't know if everything's going to return to normal by next year. We'll see. Sports are already talking about canceling next year. So, I mean, it's a shit show. If everything does return to normal, hopefully, fingers crossed, we do get back to some normalcy. Even by next summer, let's hope. When I say normalcy, I'm talking masks the fuck off and just fucking life is returning to normal. Theaters are packed again and no more BS on the fucking streets either.
I agree.
I hope. But there's so much at stake that's coming up here in a few weeks. I don't know where we're going to be to say what to look forward to in 2021 because I don't know what the fuck's going to happen by the time we get to 2021.
It's crazy. And obviously, we are deep.
I mean, we're weeks away from this shit, and it's going to get batshit fucking crazy, folks. I mean, it really is.
It is.
So,
and we're deep into pre-production on It's Me, Billy, like deep. And our crew is pretty much assembled. So we're talking like first and second AC, which is assistant camera, gaffer, key grip, electric. I mean everything. Like all our crew, we're in the process of assembling them. It's almost all done. Props are, how are we along with props? I would say it's 95% of the way there.
You're lucky that you don't have to deal with this shit, so you can continue on with life.
But I mean, because we're right above you.
Open up a bedroom up there. I may be coming up soon.
It still affects us, and obviously the coronavirus things are spiking here. I keep saying to Bruce, I'm like, please. Can we just not, obviously it's not up to him. I just mean, I'm putting it out in the ether. I'm like, please, let's just have the last week of November because that's when we're planning to shoot is November 22nd to the 29th. That week there is when we're planning to shoot. And if we can have that week, if we can just have that week, I said this to Tony, I've said it to other people too, you will have a teaser trailer for It's Me, Billy this Christmas. But we gotta shoot that last week of November, please. Oh God, it's gonna suck if we have to fuck. Yes, I realized there was a super chat I missed from Cobra Dojo. Let's go back.
Sorry, Cobra.
All right, Cobra. Here he is. Cobra Dojo sends in a £5 super chat and says, D&T. No, I'm not saying you sound like that, Cobra Dojo. You know me, I'm just doing my crazy voices.
Yeah, he's from England, man. He's probably got more of that the cup of tea. Sorry, dude, that was a totally bad accent.
They might not be from England though, because there are. Oh no, it's a pound.
That's true.
It's a pound. It's not a euro. It's a pound, I believe. So he probably is right in England, unless other places use the pound. Does Ireland use the pound, or are they euros? Scotland as well? I don't know. All right. Well, D&T. No Rocky, no Rambo.
No Rocky, no Rambo.
Rocky, no Rambo. What are your top 5 Sly movies? I love Tango and Cash, Over the Top, and Lock Up. That's just 3 movies.
I don't have 5, but I will say. I
got 5.
Shit, what was the name of that fucking movie? Hold on, I gotta look it up.
My top 5, in no particular order, would be.
You're probably gonna say
Copland, which is.
Yeah, that's it.
Copland is great.
Fucking love that movie.
He was.
Love that movie.
If you don't think Sylvester Stallone can act, watch Copland. And you blew it! Robert De Niro's in that too, so great. Copland, again, no particular order. Copland, Demolition Man.
That's a great movie. Talk about someone predicting the future. Demolition Man definitely predicted the future. I'm just waiting for the fucking machine to be here. You are fined 1 credit for because you have offended us.
Exactly. Demolition Man, Copland. I would say then probably Cliffhanger, and
that was good. John Lithgow was good.
John Lithgow was good. I like Lock Up, or it's actually Lock Up and Over the Top. I like those 2 movies too.
Oh, Over the Top. Yeah, I forgot about that flick. So
but I also, you know what's funny? I have a little soft spot. This is a guilty pleasure. It's Judge Dredd. I hate to say it. I actually kind of have a little guilty
pleasure. You know, I'm a Rocky Balboa. I can't do Sly.
I don't know. It's not a great movie.
Tango and Cash was all right.
Tango Cash is all right.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
You know what? I'm dead serious, dude. I actually don't mind Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. It's a terrible movie, but I don't mind it.
It is.
I don't mind it.
What's the one he did with Harris? Daniel Harris. He did one with Daniel Harris.
Daylight.
Or Daniel Harris was in one with him.
Yes.
Daylight. Yeah. That was good.
Yes. Daylight is good. It is good.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's good.
Great question.
It's good.
Great question.
Expendables. I mean, it's more recent. But...
Expendables. Yeah, Expendables.
The first one was good. Then it got kind of little.
Yeah, because the third one wasn't rated R, and they couldn't fucking do what they did in the first 2. Actually, the second Expendables actually was all right too. Jason Myers sends in a $2 super chat. Says, Dave, would you get a McRae live face mask made? Joking. McRae live face mask. What do you mean though? Like.
Oh, the COVID face mask.
Oh, the fat masks that
you actually could. I mean, it's you want to make some.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Bucks.
Chris Baber, my man Chris, says in a 4.99 super chat.
Yo.
Tony watched a small documentary today about R. Lee Emery. R. Lee Emery.
Yep.
Emery. Right. And his dealing. Right. Yeah. And his dealings with Kubrick and Full Metal Jacket. It was simply amazing to see these 2. Yeah. He died a couple years ago.
I think he was brought on originally for that film as the advisor. If I'm not mistaken.
Full Metal Jacket.
If that's the same documentary that I just watched not too long ago myself. It's kind of weird how that not weird in a bad way, but just because I watched something very similar to that on him in that documentary, and I don't know if it was that film or if it was another military film that he was brought into for, but I'm almost positive it was that film. He was brought into originally as just because he was in Vietnam for real.
Right.
Like, he was a drill sergeant, so he was for real with that. And I think that's how he got in, and then he ultimately got the part of Hartman. I think that's how it played out.
Interesting. Okay.
If I remember correct. If that's the same documentary, Chris, that we're talking about, let me know in the chat, buddy.
Southpaw 82 says, "Are y'all excited for Godzilla versus Kong?"
Dude, I'm like waiting for the fucking trailer on that. Talk about waiting. I don't know what's going on with that fucking trailer.
I'm Team Godzilla. Tony, you?
I'm Team Kong. Love Kong, man.
The 2 dudes.
Well, Kong has a. I know, right? Well, we'll have to do something with that.
We will. Maybe we should.
Kong has a soft spot because I loved the Jessica Lange Bridges.
Yeah,
Bridges.
76?
Daniels or Bridges? Bridges. Yeah. 76, 77, somewhere where he climbs the
World Trade Center,
Twin Towers.
That was a great movie.
First of all, Jessica Lange in that
was her
movie.
first movie. Oh yeah, she was beautiful. That was.
But I have a soft spot for that film because me and my brother watched that one specifically a lot as kids. So Kong would have it has a little bit more of a soft spot for me. I do like Kong Skull Island. I thought that was well done. I like the Godzilla films too.
Yep.
I thought those were well done. So I'm anxious to see like how much bigger Kong is going to get. Obviously, he needs to grow, and he has. And look, at the end of the day, I think they're both going to take their lickings, and I think at the end of it, they're both going to be fighting somebody else, and they're going to save the day. And I think they're going to go off in their separate ways, and that be it. That's my gut feeling because you're talking about two of the most iconic monsters in monster films.
I thought
King
you were going to say,
Godzilla.
listen, both of them are going to take a licking and both are probably going to keep on ticking. And that's what I thought you were
No. Like I was going to say, it was, something like the Jason versus Freddy thing where like they were both kind of killed each other in the film. And then Jason's carrying Freddy's head and Freddy winks. Like, I don't think it's going to be that type of cheesy, but I think they're going to go at it. I think they're both going to, have their advantages. And then I think, a bigger threat's going to come along that's going to have them sort of unwillingly but agree to team up to save whatever they got to save.
That's what I think too. I love that King Kong movie, by the way, 76 there. Do you remember what were they called? The little things you used to put the circle, the white thing in that was like a viewfinder thing, and you would pull the thing on the side.
Oh,
what are they called?
I almost said kaleidoscope, not kaleidoscope. Something scope,
something,
periscope,
no, something like that. The chat room will let us know. But I had the King Kong one of that, and you'd put it in, and you'd see like all the frames from the that movie. That was really cool.
King Kong Lives.
King Kong Lives.
That was Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, that was 86, I think. That was about 10 years after. But I'm a big Godzilla fan, always have been. He's my boy, so I'll be Team Godzilla. But I agree with you. I actually think Kong I think they're gonna, and then they'll have to team up or something like that. But apparently, according to Adam Wingard, the director of the movie, he says there is a clear winner. Like we do get that. So I'm like,
oh wow, okay. So then
now here's the thing that's interesting. He's called Kong.
That is interesting if he's saying if there's a clear winner.
He's called Kong. And I know there could be a rights issue here, but he's called Kong, and I've always speculated that the reason why they call him Kong is because they're waiting for the moment to crown him King Kong.
Ooh, now, and you think this is where they're going to call him King?
That what's his face in Kong Skull Island does say that's Kong. He says, "quote That's Kong. He's king around here." That was a very sort of inconspicuous way to kind of say King Kong, and I think there is a rights issue with the name King Kong, which might be why they haven't referred to him as Kong. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they're doing it. But it wouldn't. But I'm calling it. I've been calling it for a year. It wouldn't surprise me if in the movie he gets the upper hand, and Godzilla was king of the monsters in Godzilla, the film from last year. King Kong then sort of takes the mantle, and he becomes King Kong.
Ooh, that's actually really cool. I like that.
I'm thinking that may happen. Of course, I'm kind of hoping it doesn't because I want Godzilla to win, but I do understand that it is a clever way.
It would make sense because it gets the name.
It's a clever way to give the creature. It's a clever way to do it. And from a writing perspective, if there's no legalities holding you back, it makes sense.
Dude, that shot of Mothra, is that how you say it?
Mothra, yeah.
Yeah, in Godzilla King of the Monsters, where he's on the volcano and it's silhouetted and
Rodin, I think. Yeah, the one that's the pterodactyl kind of bird or whatever. Yeah.
That's such a beautiful shot. I mean, it's CGI, but the way they did it, man, that's just beautiful. Fucking done.
Great. It's great. Okay, we'll go for another 5
we missed
minutes,
a few
because that'll take us right to 2 hours.
Yeah, everyone's saying we missed a few super chats.
Did we? Okay, well, let's see here. There's a few there. Yeah, I think we did.
Who did we miss?
Yeah, but I don't think we did pass the one we just read. Alex Jones. I'm Alex Jones. I'm fucking Alex Jones.
He's here.
You missed my super chat, Alex Jones. He says, "You missed my super chat, and the frogs are gay." That's what I think. That's what he said, right, or something. The frogs. Something like that. I'm going to go back and read Alex Jones. Okay, I missed Alex Jones super chat. Let's go get Alex Jones' super chat here. Where is Alex Jones' super chat?
I did not know InfoWars was watching.
InfoWars
Dave
is
and
watching.
Tony.
I don't see it. Let me see if I can get it here. Good old Alex Jones. Can you imagine?
That dude.
Holy shit, is he ever? Alex Jones,
God.
Alex Jones. I don't see. I missed your super chat, Alex.
Who did we miss then?
He says you missed my. Did he say you missed my super chat? He says Alex Jones. Where is he? Says missed my super chat. Oh yeah, we did. Here he is. I'll read it as Alex Jones. $4.99. I auditioned for Loomis in the flashbacks for Halloween Kills, and they said I was too aggressive and violent. They're missing out. Of course, that's a terrible Alex Jones impression, but he's always got that kind of that thing going on.
No, it's about spot on.
That's right, man.
It's about spot on.
I'm gonna get the bullhorn out. InfoWars, peace. Okay, so we got Alex.
Ethan LeBlanc, $2.99. Team Zilla all the way. He's on your side, Dave.
My man, Ethan LeBlanc, Team Zilla, my man. That's the way to do it. Cobra Dojo says
Cobra Dojo liking it up on that
Frasier
super
or
chat tonight.
Cheers?
Cheers, man.
For
Cheers.
Tony, it's gonna be
favorite.
Cheers. For me, it's gonna be Frasier.
Not that I don't. Frasier's a great
Not that I don't like
spinoff,
Cheers.
and it's a great show.
Exactly.
Yeah. But Cheers, man, that's like the Karate Kid for me. Cheers is my all-time favorite TV show.
Go.
It's top on
There
my
you go.
list.
There you go.
You know what though? I'm excited, and I like the idea that they're toying with on the not reboot, but relaunch of Frasier. And they're older, but Frasier actually ends up back married with Lilith, and it's Frasier and Lilith now in their older years. And that's a great idea because we didn't see that in Frasier. Lilith only showed up periodically.
Right.
And Lilith to me was
Lilith
was my favorite character on Cheers. Okay, I love fucking
Bebe Neuwirth. That's right.
I loved her character, just the way she delivered it and how she, 1-2 with Frasier, or with really anybody. She just was, really snappy, but real quick, right on. You had to keep up with Bebe, and they didn't really explore a lot of that in the Frasier run. I mean, she showed up here and there. So the idea of seeing them two together now in their older years and just the way, oh my God, that would be fucking hysterical. Right. As like these two old, like kind of like the Golden Girls, but like Frasier and Lilith.
Yeah,
that would be.
I got you. That would be funny. That would be funny. Okay, a couple more minutes here, folks. Then we got to skedaddle because I have to skedaddle. Zach Yaxiola says, Dave, thoughts on the Austin Powers trilogy, and could a fourth film still be possible without Mini-Me? A fourth film, as long as you have Mike Myers, 100%. You can always get somebody else to fill the role of Mini-Me, and you don't even need Mini-Me, necessarily. I know he's classic, but you don't need him. Mike Myers, you definitely need him. I really like the first two Austin Powers. I only saw Goldmember once, I think, and I don't remember much of it, other than it had Beyonce in it.
I saw the first one.
So, I don't know. I'd be down for another Austin Powers. Sure, I watched Wayne's World a week or so ago. Wayne's World, party time, excellent.
I will say another film I'm looking forward to next year, if it does come out, would be MI7, Mission Impossible. I just watched the 3 here recently, 4, 5, and 6. Man, I gotta tell you, I like the first Mission Impossible. 2 is it's all right. 3 is it's not bad. It got a little better after the shit show of 2. But God damn, man, fucking Ghost Protocol.
Oh yeah, the last 3 have been.
Yeah. Last 3, what's Ghost Protocol? Jeez, I just fucking watched them. Ghost Protocol, Fallout, and what's
Rogue
the other
Nation,
one?
I think.
Ghost Protocol. Rogue Nation, thank you. God, those 3 films are fucking great. And like seeing the shit that he's doing now, like he just fucking like I saw a news story pop up and it's like Tom Cruise rode a motorcycle and parachute off a cliff. I'm like, of course he did.
I know, he's insane. He's gonna kill himself. Gypsy Warrior says, hasn't it been confirmed that King Ghidorah or King Ghidra, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is the big bad of Godzilla versus Kong? Has it been confirmed? Because he was the big bad of the last movie, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Godzilla like killed him, kind of, I think. Or is he kind of not kind of dead? Is it like a Marvel thing where he's dead but he's not dead? Is he the big bad of Godzilla versus? Because King Ghidorah is the three-headed dragon. So
yeah, King Ghidorah. Yeah, I call that's who I was thinking of as Mothra, but it's not. But there is a shot of King Ghidorah
you're thinking of King Ghidorah. Oh, okay, okay. Not rodent.
Do you remember that scene when he's on the volcano and it's silhouetted behind him? And
Yep. Cobra Dojo says, "Urban legend, or I know what you did last summer." I know what you did last summer.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
For sure.
Gotta show some love for my man's girl there.
What is Jennifer?
J-Love.
Jennifer Love Hewitt doing now anyway? What is she? I think she was on some 9/11 show or something. Not 9/11 is in September 11th, but some 911 show.
No, but 911.
I think she was playing like a dispatcher or something. I know she's had a couple of kids and she got married, so I know she's doing the mom thing, I think. But I got to be honest with you, I haven't really,
It makes me wonder with like Scream coming back and Halloween coming back, will she toy with the idea of coming back with I Know?
Oh, 100%. Listen.
You almost see the writing on the wall for that.
I think that because Jennifer Love Hewitt is, and look, she had her time. She's one of those I forget the name, but it's like not a legacy character, but kind of like that in the sense that she's very. It's like she made her pop culture stamp at a certain like era. Right. So like, you think of an era, like, okay, 90s, it's like thinking of, I don't know, like she had the 2 horror movies. She had a couple of teeny bopper films and, Can't Hardly Wait and that kind of shit.
She was in the Dawson Creek era.
Right. And
90s.
then she had Ghost Whisperer for about 5 seasons in the early to mid 2000s.
Oh, I forgot about Ghost Whisperer. That's right.
But beyond that, she's appeared here or there, whatever, right? And then she got married and did the mom thing. And listen, if it was a good script, even if it wasn't, but if it's a decent script and they're like, hey, we want to make a sequel to I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. And I know there is one. I know a straight, to DVD, but I mean like a real, like, we're going to pretend that the other ones don't exist and we're, that kind of shit, right? And they offered her, there's no way. I'd be stunned if she turned it down.
Yeah,
I would be because A, she's not doing much at the moment, and B, I mean, why not? I mean, she's our age. She's 41. So I mean,
who I wouldn't mind as the killer? Who was the sister in the movie from the first one?
In the first, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Anne Heche, right? Is that her name?
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Plays the sister. Yeah, the first film. The sister of David.
Oh, Anne Heche. Yes. Sorry, for some reason I thought you said Anne Hathaway, and I'm like, what? I don't remember Anne Hathaway in that.
No. Anne Heche. Yes. Anne Heche. She was the killer, seeking revenge.
I'm down. You cast both Anne, and what the fuck is
story
Anne Heche
there?
doing?
It works.
What's Anne Heche doing? You cast Anne Heche and Jennifer Love Hewitt going toe to toe. And then you bring in Freddie Prinze Jr. He's just Star Warsing it up and surfing on the fucking beach.
Exactly.
You bring him back into the fold. I'm telling you right now, man.
Star Wars.
Yes, he's Star Warsing it up and surfing on the fucking beach. Now, you can't bring Sarah Michelle Gellar back because she died, or can you? Ooh.
Well, we didn't see the kill, you know what I mean? So, it's kind of like I said with what I said to you the other day, man. I would have signed up for it if you brought Stu back as the killer in Scream, because the TV just falls on Stu's head. You hear a little noise coming out of his mouth there as he's being sort of electrocuted. But does he fully die, or does he come back all these years later a little mangled up?
What if Stu comes back with the TV on his head? And it's now
welcome to prime time.
It's now a part of him. So as you look through the screen, you just see his face, and he's got to walk around and kill people with a TV on his head. And you create a new killer called TV Man.
Well, this new idea isn't exactly that far-fetched, because even Matthew Lillard said the same thing. Did Stu really die?
I know. That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah. Maybe that's the twist. You may be right. Jim Dorsey.
Anne Heche.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm telling you. Anne Heche, Jennifer Love Hewitt, I'm sold. Jim Dorsey says, thanks, buddy. Says, do you decorate outside your house for Halloween? You mean just outside, or Oh, the outside of our house. Yeah, a little bit for sure. I got
a lot going on.
I saw the photo.
I've been spending all weekend
on Instagram.
Yeah, that's small. I've got like 40 pumpkins out there. I've been putting up corn stalks now, and I'm that guy that you go. And mine is more like harvesty stuff and mixed in with like a bit of. It's more like artistic Halloween. Right. It's not like the gory and like you know. I mean, I have skulls, but that's more inside my house. But like the outside is more like it's more autumn harvest Halloween kind of blended together. So, because I keep that shit up all the way through Thanksgiving. I don't take it down.
Yeah, no, why not? Maybe Stu comes back with the TV on his head, but it's not a broken TV. It's just his face on the screen and his body. And that would be kind of fucking freaky. It's just like a whole other horror character. Of course, you have kids today.
Cobra Dojo with another 2-pound soup. Dude, you are just blowing it up tonight, bro. Ellie Cornell or Jamie Lee. Oh, man, now we're going to
Ellie Cornell or
Jamie Lee
Curtis is a final girl.
I don't care. I'm going to say it, Ellie.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about Halloween? Now, Jamie Lee Curtis has more experience as a final girl. Right? So, because we can point to Prom Night, we can point to Terror Train, we can point to Halloween 2, we can point to The Fog. Well, Fog is more of an ensemble piece, but you certainly can point to that a little bit. So she does have more of a final, more to draw from if we're talking about the quality of a final girl, or you're just talking about Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween and Rachel Carruthers in Halloween. I will go with Jamie Lee, but the reason why is because Ellie, she got the shaft, and not in that way. It's unfortunate because she was. But it's untapped potential. She was great in Halloween 4. And it was robbed in 5. So there's always this what could have been. So I can only judge her in 4. I don't judge her in 5 because 5 is just a shit show. And it's so unfortunate that we didn't see the progression of her relationship with Jamie. I mean, you did see it a bit in 5, but I think it should have been about them at that point. Whereas Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, we have more to draw from, and she's more classic, right? She's more that she's the one that started it all for all intents and purposes. So, and there's 2 movies there where she was classic. So I'll go with Jamie for that reason. But I think had Ellie Cornell, had Rachel Carruthers survived and gone through 5, and 5 in a different movie, a legitimate, real good follow-up to 4, then that's a different story. You know what I mean?
So if we're just talking Halloween, then Ellie for sure. Rachel's my top 5 favorite final girls. Jamie Lee's not even in the top 5 for me. I love the character of Rachel and everything you just said. What happened to her in Halloween 5 was just fucking shit show. I mean, she survives this incredible film, and I'm not saying Rachel needed to survive Halloween 5, but let's be real. You know, when that moment happens out in the field, it should not be Tina saving Jamie. That should have been Rachel saving Jamie and Tina taking Jamie to safety and Rachel telling Tina to take Jamie to safety. Like, could you imagine that now? And Michael stabbing Rachel right in front of Jamie, and Jamie seeing that. Like, just the impact of that as fans seeing that. It would have made even like every time I just think of that fucking scissor scene at the beginning of 5, I'm just like, so much like they screwed up with that, and it's unfortunate that's what we got stuck with. But I will say, from a cinematic side of it, if we're going to talk about filmography, then I mean, Jamie Lee obviously did way more. But if we're just talking the Halloween franchise, Rachel's my girl, man. I just try to ignore 5 and just focus in on 4.
Exactly. Last super chat of the night, then we got to go. Intel Wild says, hey Dave, did you watch Sean from Phantom Empire's Indiegogo teaser for his new fan film? I did. I have Sean on the show tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sean Giroux, I think is how you say his last name, will be on the show talking his Halloween fan film he's putting together. He He's had me on his show a couple times, so I wanted to return the favor for him and get him on. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll talk Halloween and all that kind of jazz. And so yeah, that is going to do it for us. I want to for those of you that may have been sorry,
you got a couple super chats, dude. Are you sure you want to end it?
I thought I got. Oh, I see. No, you're right. There's one.
You got Jeff Harris. He asked here, super chat, yes, $4.99. Have you guys seen The Devil All the Time, starring Robert Pattinson, Tom Holland? That's the Netflix movie. I have not seen it yet.
Haven't checked that out yet, Jeff.
Gotta check it out.
Yes, and we did get Cobra Dojo. We did get Jim Dorsey. We did get the Cobra Dojo Urban Legend.
£5. So if Christopher Lee or Peter Cushing would have played Loomis, who would you have cast?
No, I didn't see that one. Where is that? Must be back.
It's new. It's a newer one.
Oh, it just came in?
Yeah. Aaron Anderson in Cobra Dojo sent in one. So that's actually a great question. I'm curious to know your thoughts on that. The £5 super chat. So if Christopher Lee or Peter Cushing would have played the iconic role of Dr. Loomis, who would you have cast?
Hang on a sec here. For some reason, I'm not seeing that super chat. I like to see it.
Really?
Oh, there it is. Now I see it. Okay. Now I see it here. So if Christopher Lee or Peter Cushing would have played Loomis, who would you have cast? Oh, I would have cast probably Peter Cushing. I think. Christopher Lee might have been a little too ominous. Maybe not. But my gut tells me Cushing. But it would have been interesting to see Lee in the role too.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. He's iconic. Aaron Anderson says, just watch Sweeney Todd with my wife. That could be really good if made and not a musical. If remade and not a musical. I didn't see it. I'm not a big Johnny Depp fan when he gets all emo like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could remove the music, but Sweeney Todd is known. We did that in high school. It's known for as a musical. Our senior class production, that was the senior class production that we did. We did several productions throughout that year, but every year you would have the main school production that they would put on once a year. Then you would have the senior production, which the seniors could pick whatever musical. And in our senior year, we did Phantom of the Opera was the school's production. And then the class production was Sweeney Todd. And I got to work on that. I did a lot of the behind the scenes, the video and broadcasting it. At the time, we had local broadcast networks and shit like that. And it's such a good musical. But to remove the musical element from it, that's tough.
That would change the identity of the
piece for sure. And I agree. I don't think I mean, as the barber, he was all right, but like it was too Tim Burton-y, I guess is the only way I can describe Sweeney Todd.
Well, he does a lot of that though. Johnny Depp's a great actor, but he's always he's always farting around in fucking makeup. And I'm just sick and tired of it. I just wish he would do a serious drama or just play like some and he has done that, but I'm just so tired of all his eccentric theatrical roles. I'm just like, dude, like, why are you always doing these whimsical?
Well, he went from, like you just said, he went from doing shit like Gilbert Grape and Blow and Donnie Brasco to then he got into, like you said, he got into the caricature stuff, you know, and it's like kind of like, dude, we know you're talented, man. Like, what the fuck?
Listen, folks, we really appreciate you tuning in. And sorry.
We made it. Wow.
We made it. And thank you for those of you that may not have known. We were having audio issues throughout the show. We're trying to get all that solved. YouTube has switched over portals in terms of their live hubs, and Wirecast is having a difficult time connecting, but we made it through. So if you're watching after the fact and you made it to the end of the show, you may have noticed, especially on my audio is a bit lower than Tony's, and there was popping and sometimes just bad audio on my end. It's nothing to do with any connection or bad wires or anything, but clearly there's something going on. But we wanted to do this show. We wanted to get through it because there will not be a Two Dudes and Some Bullshit for at least, well, I mean, it's possible we may be able to slip one in there on a Thursday or a Wednesday or a,
who knows? To do something.
We'll try to do something, but definitely the next 2 Mondays there will not be an episode of Two Dudes, because next Monday, Tony is in Carolina.
I'll be coming back from Carolina.
You'll be coming back that day in the last, well, yeah, you'll be driving. And of course, it's the Canadian Thanksgiving next Monday. Of course, we really celebrate on the Sunday, but it's nice to have the Monday off as well. And then the following Monday after that, the 19th of October, myself and Bruce and our camera crew are heading up to the house to do another location scout for It's Me, Billy. And that's a 4-hour drive there, a 4-hour drive back, all day thing. So yeah, so
it sucks because we're missing out the best month of the year to do horror films, and it's unfortunate. It's just, I'm going to a wedding this weekend. My cousin's getting married.
Yeah.
And Dave's got the Thanksgiving thing, and then he's got, just a lot of things kind of fell into our lap because my cousin really was supposed to get married last month, and then everything got pushed out to this month because of COVID. So just, believe me, guys, I get it. We want to be here. We want to be hanging out, talking horror shit and whatnot. And it's going to be one of those Octobers this year. We
do. But you know what? Oh, and then of course, if we can shoot the movie, there's a week in November that obviously I won't be available either. So actually there'll be 2. Yeah, probably. Well, at least one Monday I won't be available. So it's kind of crazy, but we're going to do what we can. And if Tony and I, can make our schedules jive and we can pop on and do a show on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Friday or something like that, we'll see if we can make it work. But we just wanted to let you guys know that ahead of time, and I'll make a social media announcement as well about it. So, but we appreciate you tuning in. We got through this show. We really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Tune in tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time from McRae Live. Sean Giroux from Fandom Empire will be joining me. We'll be talking Halloween Kills, Ends, and of course his Halloween fan film, The Haddonfield Vanished. The Haddonfield Vanished. Make sure you tune into that. Tony, any last things you want to say, my man?
No, it was good catching up with everybody tonight, and we'll try to get with you guys soon.
Yep, for sure, man. Amazing. Have a great night, guys. Great time. In the meantime, in between time, we'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.